UFO Garage.
Hey, this is another episode of UFO Garage.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Joe, and this is where we talk about UFOs, aliens, and all things weird. Plus, I quit my job, so we'll mention that too. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Oh, yeah, dude.
How are y'all doing today? Fuck yeah, it's Tuesday. I think today is Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Another fabulous Tuesday. Benjamin.
Hey, Ignacio.
Hola, Chancho. ¿Cómo está?
Cabrón.
Que
Cabrón.
transitas por tus venas.
Yes.
What's up, man? How you doing today, dude? You doing good?
Good, man. Good.
Good stuff.
I'm doing great, dude. We I just had some oysters.
You had some moistness?
Some oysters.
Oh, oysters.
Oysters.
Nice.
And dude, today's going good. I mean, that's my news is that I had oysters today.
Yeah, that's what's up. Hey, Alabama Tide, man, we just got started, bro. Don't even bring that in here already with your silliness.
He's already talking
All
about.
right. He's already talking about those Aggies, dude.
Dude, the Aggie, gig 'em, baby.
How dare you?
Let's go.
You know what, Ben? For that, you're out of the show. It's just me today. Take that. Yeah, I have the power too, Ben. All right.
How did you do that?
Yeah. I'm smart.
How about this?
I'm still here.
Oh wait. Yeah, now
What?
you're real small.
What an idiot.
Dude. Well, you know what? You know why I'm happy? I'm happy. Are you happy?
I'm very happy.
You
Tell everybody why we're happy.
You quit your job today, which is freaking awesome, guys. If you guys are regular listeners to the show, I mean, I'm just so glad you're gonna have a back and knees for another
At least 30 years.
30 years. Dude.
I'm going for 30. I know you were going to say 10, but I'm going for 30. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So already, just congrats on that.
Because now I'm going to have insurance, so I'm going to start going to chiropractors and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go to the doctor for the first time. I'm 35 years old, and I haven't been since I was like 17. I'm going to go check it out, see what's up, dude. You know what I'm saying? I think doctors are supposed to be cool, actually. So we'll see.
Yeah.
You know?
They're supposed to help you, but they also kind of judge you a little bit.
A little
So
bit.
Just be prepared
a little
for
bit.
that. They're like,
Oh,
you know,
I've got all kinds of answers. Literally, the last time I went to the doctor, it was like one of those fast med clinics, and it was because I had poison ivy all over me, and like it got on my balls, and I needed a shot, like a steroid shot, immediately to get that out, and it was you know, not fun. It was not fun. So, but
you
yeah.
got any photos? Pics or didn't happen.
You want to see the point? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Dude, so the other reason I think we're happy is that okay, so one of our favorite YouTube Reddit mysteries of all time. This happened in 2013. It's called Throawaylien. Everybody kind of knows about it. That's at least been a little bit into UFOs, aliens, abduction stories, has traversed the dark, sometimes very dark, corners and recesses of Reddit. If you don't know about the Throawaylien, I'm trying to say it right. It's not throwaway alien, because we did do an episode about this before. But if you want to pronounce it right, I feel like it's Throawaylien. Was originally posted on Reddit under the abduction story. So it's like this. The first post was about this person's abduction, and it just captivated thousands of people, and it just dove into this dark, sometimes enlightening, very curious rabbit hole that has continued up until this day, honestly, for a lot of people. But the biggest thing about this post, and our guest is in the background like, you're butchering this. The biggest thing, biggest notable things is that he predicted when the government would basically come out about aliens, pretty much, which was this past summer, June 25th. The date is a little different than in the post, but close, dude. Very close. And we'll go into detail about that a little bit as we talk to our guest.
This goddamn story had us like, what do you think, dude? What do you think? For like a long ass time. I'm so excited.
Like we would like get to a point where like, all right, this guy is for real. And then we would chat. You're like, no, bro, I don't know. There's too much controversy. I mean, it's been 8 years. It was 8 years.
It's been a while. It's
Yeah.
been a while. Fuck,
So-
dude, I'm so excited.
Yeah. So without further ado, we're going to call him Thoreau, which he's known on Twitter. Thoreau, welcome to the show.
Hi, hello, can you hear me? Hello? Where am I? Who are you?
You've made it.
I've made it. I've arrived. Hello, universe. Yeah, guys, I gotta say, I'm nervous, right? I got those tingles in my fingers. I got the butterflies in the belly, but I have my beer. I have my CBD. I had a couple gummies.
I like it.
Hell yeah,
Let's
dude.
do this.
I like
I'm
it.
ready. I'm gonna try my
Cheers.
best.
Cheers.
Here we go.
Dude. Thanks for
Cheers.
joining us tonight, man. I know it
I'm
can be.
Yes.
Excited but trepidatious.
Yeah. Well, it's a like not dangerous place on the internet, but it's like for an ego, I guess. It's like you can come out with the most sentimental thing, and people are gonna make fun of you or
gonna be
tell you that
trashed,
you're
yeah.
lying, or you could say something really profound, and somebody's gonna like find that one tiny thing, you know.
Absolutely.
So I'm just first
My
off,
buddy, my cousin and brother are on the phone with me. They're watching, by the way, so they're gonna potentially help me verify some of the details that I encoded about myself in the story, right? So they're here. They're just texting me.
Oh, dude.
Awesome. What's up, brother? What's up, cousin?
Hey, brother.
How are
hey,
y'all
brother.
doing?
Hey, cousin.
You can call them Nerd One and Nerd Two is their nicknames.
Nice, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
A brother and a cousin. You know, you know those fools, the cousin brothers.
Yeah, yeah.
Me and Ben like to call each other the brother cousins.
Brother cousin.
Oh yes, the cousins.
The cousin.
Brother, I like it. The brother
yeah.
cousins. Well, we grew up
Except-
together. My cousin is much more like my brother, so it works.
Hell yeah, I like that, dude. I like
It's-
that, man.
It's awesome to have somebody close in your family that's like into this kind of stuff, right?
Well, that's the funny part. They're not into this, and so I totally bombard them all the time. We game together, right? And I say, "Hey guys, I'm Throawaylien. Leave me alone." And they say, "Come on, Thoreau, stop already." So
That's so great,
we're
man.
tired of it. As most people who probably hear about it are. I tend to talk about it a lot because it was a large part of my life and to me a very important part of my life. So yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, being internet famous and not being able to tell anybody about it.
Like Skinny Bob.
Skinny
Yeah,
Bob's
right?
awesome. Hey, Skinny. I love that.
Yes, dude.
Hell yeah.
It's
Skinny
hard,
Bob, welcome, bro.
and it's a controversial topic, and it's right in the middle of all of the UFO stuff. So not being able to talk about it was so difficult. But also, I wanted to say this was one of the things I had a little bit of a couple thoughts real quick. I wanted to say I had to give props to the whole Throwaylien community. If I get emotional, you'll have to forgive me. Yeah,
Understandably so.
we're doing it. Seriously, it helped me get through a very difficult time in my life, and Muffins in particular was an absolute godsend. So he did a lot, not only for me, but for a lot of people on the internet. So I wanted to say, I think he may be watching. So many thanks, friend.
Yes, dude.
So that's it.
Awesome.
So I want to share my screen just because Muffins Le Muffins 32 is the moderator for the original subreddit Throawaylien, and he started that and has
Yep.
been the most. I mean, he just seems like, or he or she, I don't know, is.
I think it's he did a podcast. I listened to it.
Oh, he did. Oh, perfect. Oh my god. Like,
By the way, I see someone mentioned that I did get banned from the Throwaylien subreddit. I posted on there about the Matrix a few too many times, and Jimbo banned me. It was post AT, and after he kicked out all of the mods and the sub was going to trash, I posted on there, and I got banned from the subreddit, which is
You got
rather
banned?
hilarious. My own subreddit. It's hilarious.
Oh my god, dude, that's so awesome, dude.
you're like trying
Yeah.
to make updates. and shit.
It's in a lot of ways it feels like undercover boss, right? I got fired from my own job.
Yes. Hey, at least you didn't have to give them like a new car or house or like
Yeah, right.
pay for their kids or nothing. So
They'd have to settle for a toy bike.
Right, yes, dude. So I
young.
know that you were telling me that you're going through really hard times,
Yeah.
and if your family is gone, I'd like to present you with this new bike.
Yeah, right. Here you go. Enjoy it. It's going to solve all of your problems.
Right, dude.
Oh
It's
man.
a thought that counts. If they don't
Right.
take it,
Yeah.
they're
The
selfish.
sentiment.
Sons of
Yeah.
bitches.
We should be grateful.
Oh man, yes, dude.
So, dude, you were saying like being so thankful for Muffins Le Muffins 32.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to give some people that aren't familiar with this subject just a little bit of dive, because I've got some questions about him too, because there's a lot of
Yeah.
conspiracy theories that maybe you
He
are
was it or
also
something. Yeah.
Le Muffins 32, or maybe someone because I mean this person like did a huge deep dive. He's not the only one. I mean there's like interactive
There were a bunch of
timelines.
them. Yeah.
There's
Yes,
like
I know. Believe me, I know.
hours, days put into the research and
Yes.
categorization, and oh my god, like it's apparent how much this story means to a lot of people. So
It
I
was.
just
Yeah. It was frightening, honestly. They figured out my typing speed, but like, pretty damn close. I type
Yeah.
at around 70 words per minute. It depends on context, but absolutely, I think they said it was like 60 to 62 average. They looked at the time period between the comments. It was frightening, right? And as somebody who's gone through like workplace harassment before, going through this kind of stuff on the internet where anybody can do anything or say anything and whatever was kind of frightening, right? So it was, yeah, it was a harrowing time, absolutely. And for a lot of reasons, but yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I think I
Dude, no,
interrupted.
that's perfect. I mean, that's like the perfect answer, because like what my next question is, I mean, it has to be said, like everybody's probably wondering, how do we know it's you? How do we know it's the real Throawaylien?
It's
And
a good question.
I've talked to you off air, and you convinced me since day one. So for all those out there that are skeptical, there are a few things that swayed me in the direction that I so confidently said. So confidently said the real Throawaylien. There's a reason, y'all. Just stick around and hear us out. But for you, what would be like the dumbed down version is like,
Because the whole thing,
Sure.
I just want to preface this. Like the whole thing is like, Throawaylien said,
Don't
I'm
believe.
gone.
I'm gone.
And
Never
I'm
returning.
gonna leave. If
Yeah.
anybody comes back and claims it's me, it's not.
Don't believe
I'm
him.
I'm not here. Don't believe them.
I absolutely said that. So that's
here
a
we
great
are.
question. And here I am, right, making some wild claims.
Yeah.
you said
Even
you'd never
wilder
do
than
it.
what I originally said. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I said, yeah, what?
When we were talking, you were like, I don't think I'm ever going public, and I was like, all right, man, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well, yeah, you definitely kept asking. Perseverance, right? It's a big thing. So when I laugh, I think it's a good question. I think it's absolutely a valid question to ask, and I think it's an appropriate question to ask. When I last commented, I honestly didn't know. My world had been turned upside down, and I think you have to, if you put it in context of that, it makes a lot more sense. I was done with it all. My whole understanding of reality had snapped at some point because I started going into hologram theory. How can I know the world around me is even real, right? And by the way, I have a therapist now that I started. The date that I started it all is relevant. But I talked about this stuff with my therapist, right? Two branches deep, got to come out of the rabbit hole. So I talked with my therapist about all of these things, right? Because it has some pretty crazy things. My reality had kind of fallen apart. I had questions like, am I telepathically communicating with aliens? Sounds absurd, right? It sounds so fucking stupid. And you're going to be labeled a crazy person if you say that, right? So I see a therapist now. They didn't say I'm crazy. It's actually going very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I said, don't believe me. I was done. At that point, I was like, I don't know what's going on. When you feel like the universe is communicating to you in such a personal and invasive way, right? It really turns your world inside out, right? And there were many times where I felt like maybe the universe itself was speaking almost to me, which sounds fucking stupid, and I know how dumb that sounds. Um, I'm fully okay.
Doesn't sound
Uh,
dumb to me, man.
my brother and my cousin are texting me, and I'm trying to pay attention to what they're saying too. I'm trying to multitask, and it's so hard.
It's very hard.
Yeah, well, and one of the things I found out in therapy is I have ADHD, right, which is another complicating issue, right? It's a lack of executive function, so my memory is hard. That's another thing, right? So when I made my final message, I was ready to forget it all. I was done with it, and then when I thought about it, the account was always a throwaway. It was in the name. I couldn't leave it, right? I couldn't, and by beyond that, I wasn't in it for the karma. Deleting I was shocked at how many karma things it got, right? And I knew people would say it's for the karma or it's for the money. He's trying to capitalize on it, right? I have a very nice job. I'm very happy. I'm very successful in my career, right? I don't need the money. I was a journalist in a former life. I did the professional writing. I'm living my dream, right? And so, sorry, I got down into a rabbit trail.
Dude,
Back it up, baby. Back it up.
you're doing great.
So
I love the details because this humanizes you, man. Like, don't
with
second
this
guess
in
it.
this context, right? Yeah, absolutely. So I'm glad to come out now because I know that a lot of people did have a hard time with it. I had a super hard time with it, so I understand, right? It was a hard time because of all of those coincidences, right? I don't know what they were, but it lined up very well with a lot of things, and that frightened me, right? I was scared. It creeped me out. So why am I talking about it now, right? Why am I coming back and I've decided that I'm going to come out? What proof do I have? The whole story was, it's going to sound dumb, but it was a pun, right? The whole story. That's why my name is a pun, right? It was a double meaning. It was an allegory. It was an encoded message about my life. The message, like the story itself was the proof. Just like it doesn't matter what you believe about reality. Reality is reality, right? Is kind of the parallel I saw it in. And so I encoded details about my life in the story. I listed several jobs. I listed my tooth, right, that fell out. I'm missing my tooth, right? And it happened in my late 20s, like I said in the story, right? So it's the story was the proof. I've distanced myself enough from the. I know people are talking in the chat. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep up with that as well. Sorry.
We'll get to questions. We have wrenches hopefully showing up. I don't think we have any right now. But
we don't have any wrenches in here.
I think people are being pretty.
We need to get Tupacabra wrenched, yeah.
I like him. Somebody had a great pun earlier. Throw a whale in. I loved it. By the way, another funny thing about puns, on my professional LinkedIn, right, I spend my entire About Me section as a monologue about puns and how they are relevant to your workplace as a demonstration of lateral thinking, right? Because to me, puns is about thinking outside of the box, and I think that's what the story of Throawaylien kind of is, right?
Right.
So yeah. I hope that kind of covers why am I talking about this now. Also, I think that I was onto something. I think I had some thoughts about consciousness, and I feel like it's relevant, and I hope that science will investigate these things a little bit more, because I believe that are scientific answers coming from people like Gary Nolan, Diana Pazuka, people like that. So here I am, double thumbs.
If I can, so I think that's a great blanket. Like, hey, here's like some idea of this, how you would describe you are, who you say you are, which I still believe, and we haven't even gotten to the meat of it. And I feel like this is a really great blanket thing to kind of leave for now on pause. And to better describe that would be to go into some of the detail. And I know we don't want to spend the entire time we have with you on the Throwaylien story, because
I agree.
you have a lot of really awesome stories to get to. So if we can, you said you had a game we could play that we go back and look at specific things. And before we do, I just want to read the first paragraph, if that's cool. I'll try to make it quick. Not the best reader, but I will try, just to give context. So just go back to the very first post, and this was on originally on Ask Reddit. You posted throwaway account. Oh, actually, I'm going to share my screen. Throwaway account because I'm afraid. I was first, quote, abducted, end quote, in 1987. I was 12 years old. I say abducted, but it's not like that. Actually, you go willingly. It's scary, but it's exciting too. And they are somehow able to care about things. It's not until later that you feel bad or like you've been violated. And they don't do a lot of probing, like raping or anything like that. It's Hollywood nonsense. They look inside of people sometimes, but they have machines that do it. Not really machines, but it's like a room where they get done and things done, and the walls are, it's hard to explain. So just imagine like all the walls are kind of like an X-ray machines, question mark.
Yep.
That's the easiest way to describe it. And I want to end on this really quick, Thoreau, is that it's the writing style is very stream of consciousness. It's like almost like a frantic, I need to get this shit out there right now. I need people to understand where I'm at. So what frame of mind, my first question is, what frame of mind were you in when you were writing this? Was this predetermined? Like, hey, I am going to choose this writing style? Or how did that go?
It was, so one of the things, just for a little bit of context about me, I have a background in charismatic Christianity, which are the people who believe in prophecies and dreams and stuff like that and weird stuff. My hypothesis at the time was that it is the same mechanism that they do their stuff through, that remote viewing and psychic abilities are all done, right? So that's kind of some of the background about that. So I was very much into like dream journaling and stuff like that, and also these like esoteric, like Christian mysticism kind of thing. And it was 8 years ago at this point, right? In my brain trying to remember more about it, and memory is fallible, right? So I'm doing the best to remember 8 years ago. I just want to caveat all of this. This is the best I can do. But yeah, so I seem to remember being, I don't know if it was a dream state or a trance state. I do know that when I wrote my last update in May, let me shut my door real quick, sorry. Okay. When I wrote my last update in May, I was definitely in some kind of a dream state. It was like 5 a.m. when I wrote it. I think I posted it around 10 a.m. and just went to work and forgot about it, right? As far as 8 years ago, it's harder for me to remember that stuff, but I seemed to have a remembrance of, I have to write it down before I lose it, right? There was an urgency, absolutely. And that's why it is stream of consciousness. What I understand from people like Diana Pasulka and like Gary Nolan and the people who look into these consciousness things is that there actually is something to it. And so this was, in a way, it was my way of exploring this in what I believed to be a scientific way to explore some of these dream consciousness things. I don't think I ever, I started out, I wrote it in Microsoft Word or something, one of those things.
With
right?
The paperclip?
Yeah,
Clippy.
Yeah, I don't think Clippy helped me much, but yeah, I did. So I it started out as a note to myself with some thoughts about what the future would be like, right? That there was enough things. I just don't know how to describe it, and it's so hard for me because it was 8 years ago. The best I can do is it was like it's very fuzzy, but it seems like it was some kind of a dreamlike state, right? And so I'm trying to remember all of the things that I was thinking at that time.
Yeah, not just with writing, but the experience that you're drawing on, right?
Yeah. You kind of let yourself go, right? And you kind of float, absolutely, and you lose control a little bit, not like physically, but I do. And I also, sorry, just to go one quick thing. I think of the whole story in 3 parts. The first part was the very first top level comment, which was you just read. The second part are the Q&A, questions and answers that happened that night and the next day. I came back the next day because I thought if it is some kind of consciousness thing and it's based on consciousness, you can turn it on and off, right? And so that's why I came back the second day and started answering more questions. So then the third part is the May update, and I think I left like one comment or something after that.
Yeah.
But sorry, I lost my train of thought, but I think that answered your question.
Yeah, you answered the. Yeah, absolutely. Joe, I think you were gonna say something, brother.
I can't.
That was like a few minutes ago.
Oh, sorry, dude.
I don't remember now, dude.
We're all sitting here with ADD, like
Putting in consciousness.
So if I don't say it now, I forget.
Same. Oh, I can keep it going. So I love that you said that you think of the story in three parts, because I have in my notes that I think of the story in two parts, because it's the original post, and then the second part is like, okay, you come back in like in May saying, hey,
Yeah. I hated The Traveler, by the way.
ooh, see, we got to go into that. Okay, I'm writing that down so we don't fucking forget.
The Traveler.
Okay, so there's so much to that. Oh my god. Okay, so just to finish this thought, the second part where you first part you're explaining your story, which it's a very long post, and that's what ignited this whole thing.
Yeah.
The second time you come back is 8 years later, bro.
It's like 7 years and some months. Yeah.
7 years later. So in that original post, you give a date of July
Yeah.
88, and you say that the entities that you encountered, Jack and Gina, they say that you can't really understand what they say, 8th or the 18th. So it's like 8. It sounds like AT.
Yeah.
So
I memed it. I made it a meme. Memes are great, by the way. I loved the memes in the subreddit.
Here's why it's so genius, is because I don't feel like you planned it all, man. Like
I didn't plan it. It was stream of consciousness. Yeah, I figured it out as it was going.
There we go. So with that said about like the second part, right, coming back, some odd years later, and saying, hey, not so much like an apology, but it's like, hey, I know more now that I didn't know before, because there was a lot of things that you did say as statements in that first post of like,
I made
and I know we chatted about this offline, or off air, but you did mention a couple of things, like if anybody says that they were abducted by mantids or reptilians, they're lying. So they're very abrupt, like, hey, if they're saying this, they're lying. And I'm not saying this to be controversial. I just feel like it needed to be brought up, because the second when you come back a few years later, you're like, hey, I messed up. I know a lot more now. And yeah. So what was that transition like? And
so when I posted that, actually, it's funny because I saw it. Rather Be Squidding has a YouTube channel, and I saw myself, and that's what sparked me to remember. Fuck, I wrote this thing 7 years ago, and shit. So what sparked me to come back is I started paying attention to it again, because I'm interested in UFOs, right? It's a persistent interest throughout my life. By the way, just real quick, somebody mentioned in the chat, and I would like to try to address it. Somebody mentioned something about changing dates. I think they're probably referencing June 15th versus like July 12th and 18th, or 8th and 18th. I'm not 100% sure exactly what they're getting at, but maybe we can address that at some point, just to put a flag on that. Say, I would like to try to address it as best I'm able.
For sure. He said he has the receipts.
He's talking about private chats that we had, and honestly, I deleted them because, he got mad at me and blocked me, and I don't know why. I think it doesn't matter why, but I deleted it. So I can't remember exactly what we talked about, but I'm happy to try to address it if we get to it, right? It's not on my priority list, but I do want to try to put a flag in it. Sorry. So I'm sorry, that was a little bit of an aside there. Can we go back? I think you had a question for me.
Dates. Yeah, he was wanting to know how you came back a couple years later, and it was kind of a different, kind of a different style of like, hey, I kind of got it wrong. Here we go. It became like not cool anymore.
Because I wrote the first story more or less from a skeptic's perspective, right? And or rather with a skeptic's point of view. I thought it was going to be bullshit. I thought there's no way in hell I like the future's going to turn out how I think it is, right? Because aliens are bullshit. I know that it's all actually angels and demons, right? I had a lot of preconceptions, right? And it, for me, it ruled out a lot of things. When I came back, I have been interested in the UFO topic for my whole life, right? That's why I keep up with it. That's why I wrote a story about it. And to be clear, abduction was in quotes because I was never, to my knowledge, physically abducted. That was an allegory for kind of my just a lot of thoughts. That's the only way I know how to express it. But I did want to put that out there. So
Yeah,
I
for
came
sure.
back and had a lot more context of like the government has started releasing these things. Right, they're starting to say, like, hey, yeah, we actually did some of this stuff. Well, like we are actually investigating this stuff. And the more I looked into it, the more I said, how do you do? Where's the line, right? If the nuts and bolts are real, um, what if like what else does that mean is real that I previously thought was absurd, right? And so I had this realization of that, like, um, sorry, I'm paying attention to the chat, trying to focus,
You're good.
ADHD. Um, so uh, yeah, I just had a lot more information, like I said, and my perspective changed a lot, and I felt like I had to be a lot more open about what potential reality is. I do see Matthew Wright confirmed that, and I'm happy to try to explain that the best I can, but still on the back burner.
Right.
Um, so yeah, and the more I looked into it, the more I realized like there's potentially some very serious things, right? And it really does take a very serious toll on people, and so I I was just a lot more open to like, oh, well, a lot more things, that I was previously very close to, right? So that's kind of the perspective I came back from.
Yeah.
Um, and once I realized I was Throwaylien, I was like, shit. I remembered I committed, right?
Yeah.
So, what really just, dude, what really drew me into the story is how specific a lot of the a lot of the details are within your first post. I mean, it's a very long post. I don't want to
Yeah.
sit here and read it to you guys, but it has it. Either you've been into this subject a very long time, or you experienced something. I'm not trying to put a label on you, or saying that you were actually abducted and this is, maybe like a reversal thing, but
Yeah.
you have to have known something, because there's a lot of stuff that Joe and I, when we started this show, didn't know half of the stuff that you put in here. And if you didn't really know about those details, you wouldn't pick up on them.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I have had an interest in it. And so in 2013, when I first wrote the story, I had a heavy background in charismatic Christianity. That's something that, my brother and cousin could confirm, right? The sort of facts, details about my life that give context to the story. So I was very much in the charismatic Christianity realms, right? And sorry, I didn't get myself out of the rabbit hole, right? What is that train track I'm on?
So we're talking about, like, I'm saying you experienced something, because
Mm,
if you haven't, like, you wouldn't know those details unless you've read a lot of books or talked to a
mm-hmm.
bunch of people that are experiencers.
Oh, well, so this actually let's talk about this thing from Riot here. He mentioned the date. And so I will say this. I have absolutely seen UFOs. My dad has seen UFOs. My mom has had ghost encounters on submarines, right? It's something that we as a family have been exposed to, right? So absolutely, I self-identify as an experiencer, whatever phrase you want to put it. That's part of the reason that I put abduction in quotes, is because at the time my framework was alien abductee, kind of like what's going on. That's just the language that I had at the time to express it, right?
Yeah.
But getting back to the riot thing, which I think I'm jumping around a little bit here. You'll have to help if I get too off. Just let me know.
I didn't see the initial comment, so I'm unsure what the question was. Joe, do you?
What about the date?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
something about mismatching
No,
dates.
literally wasn't anything like it just said, hey, what about the changing dates, buddy?
Sure.
And then the one
So
below it said, I have the receipts,
I
and
did have
then
a
that
video
was
from
pretty
June
much it.
15th,
Yeah.
right? And I felt like at some point I when you think of the Throwaylien story, if you think of it as an encoded message to myself in the future from the past, that's another way I thought of it, right? That's
Right.
like a crumpled up note that you throw on the timeline of time going through the cosmos, and you hit yourself in the future, right? It's kind of how I think of it in a lot of ways. I think of it a lot of ways, but that's one of them. But as I was trying to figure out more and remember more about what did I think would happen in 2013 versus now, um, when I was trying to line those up, it's very possible that I mixed some events up, right? Memory is fallible. I'm not ignoring him. I don't know why he's saying that. I don't know.
Eyes up,
Communication is always
Thoreau,
hard.
eyes up.
Eyes up, eyes up! Focus, focus! It's the gummies.
I just picture like we should put like a crosshair, like we're playing like a shoot 'em up video game, or I don't know. We talked about Skyrim.
That pops up. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I've definitely seen UFOs. I feel like they did telepathically communicate with me, but this is one of those things that it's. I mean, I'm already saying that I didn't tell the. It was an allegory, right? Which means it's not the literal truth. It's an encoded fact to me. Sorry, my cousin's saying he's not talking to me. So, yeah. Sorry. What? Yeah.
Yes.
It was.
So the encoded fact, I think you're alluding to a couple of things, and there's a lot of things going on in the background. I think, for the idea, maybe I can use context clues and kind of if I'm on the right track, let me know. But you are an experiencer. You're not saying that you're not. You're not saying that you experienced every single detail that you wrote about, but you did experience something similar that
Yes.
Influenced the writing. So when people say, "Oh, everything's made up, it's fake," I say bullshit because of our conversations that we've had in the past.
Yeah.
The questions that I mean, I wish we were able to, but like this is what this time is for, right? Like, sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So I'm kind of like, okay, if we sit back, we take a step back for a second.
Yeah.
What it's sounding like is like you had a lot on your mind, and you were
Yeah.
like, the internet, what a great place to maybe spark some discussion and kind of roll these ideas I'm having around in
Yeah.
my head. You put it out on the internet, it kind of starts getting a little bit of traction. You forget about it. Then it comes up later in life, and you're like, oh, goddamn, I committed to this. Like, I got to
Yeah.
kind of keep it going. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
we keep it going. But then also, I kind of have this thought of like, you being an experiencer, your family having experiences with stuff, and then you talking about you just free typing, like almost in a sense on like you got some stuff right. Maybe it wasn't all like super accurate, but like
Right.
you
Oh,
got
yeah.
some stuff right, and it's almost like you said you were conscious for it, but
Yeah.
it's almost like if we were to go down this path, like your family being experiencers, maybe you do have an experience that you don't remember. These thoughts that are going around in your head, maybe if you did have an abduction experience, maybe that's some sort of like hey, type this out, like
Yeah.
not channel, but like maybe kind of like a channel, like free writing. You know how people just like zone out and they channel and they start
Flow
writing all
state,
kinds of
right?
stuff.
Yeah.
But this is a little bit different. You were conscious, but you did feel like you were kind of just on
In
autopilot
something, yeah.
going. It's
Yeah.
almost like you were receiving some sort of information. If we're gonna go down that hole, but
And in fact, I will say I wrote this, like I mentioned, very initially. I wrote it for myself, right? To log my thoughts is what and I just had to get it onto the page. That's the writer's instinct, is to get it onto the page, right?
right.
Before you lose it. And it was a bunch of synchronicities. I call them synchronicities, right? Meaningful coincidences, whatever. That's one of the hard things to deal with, right? Because I have frightening synchronicities that happen at times. But I think Diana Pasulka is studying those things, meaningful coincidences, right? This is why I rely on some of the science that's happening. But sorry, I'm 2 branches deep. Let me come back. Yeah. So yeah, there was all of these synchronicities that led me to post it, right? I saw alien abductees of Reddit. I was thinking of somewhere. I don't know if it was a day or two later or a weeks later or what. After it could have been hours later. I just don't remember. But I felt like I needed to put it somewhere I wouldn't lose it, because I am a very forgetful person. We talked about the memory problems already, right? Which is why talking about this story is so hard, because it relies heavily on memory and notes to myself in the future, right? So that's just I just went down another rabbit trail. But yeah, so the synchronicities are what led me to actually post it when I saw alien abductees of Reddit. I wrote my story as an alien abductee, right? because that's the framework that I was processing it in at the time. And then I said, what's your story? And because I used to be a journalist, I think in stories, right? That's how I process things, right? That's what I'm interested in movies. I'm interested in the story, right? What's the story? What's the person? What's the thing, right? Um, and so I saw what's your story, and I said, okay, I'm going to post it because I think it will get archived by the web. I'll be able to find it easy. I won't have to worry about hard drives and like keeping up with it because I will probably forget at some point and like install a new OS or something, right?
Yeah.
So I had to get it somewhere that it would stick, and I posted it. And honestly, that's when it got a little bit like whoa, because it like almost immediately blew up, and I was like, oh shit, there's already a couple of questions. And so at that point, I kind of changed gears, right, a little bit, and I said, okay, if this is a consciousness thing, and what does that mean? Because at this point, I think it's important to say that the context is I had been processing alien facts, right, and Ingo Swann and remote viewing, right. I read about him first in this time frame, and I was kind of coming out of some of this charismatic Christianity stuff, and I was seeing a lot of these connections, and to me, patterns are part of the story, right. And so I was seeing all of these things, and I got to thinking maybe there's something to it, right? Maybe there's more to these synchronicities. And people started commenting, and then I said, "Oh shit! Well, it's too late to back out now, right?" I don't know how people are going to receive this. I don't even know if it's true. I have no idea, right? Because if I was talking about the future like I thought I was, how can you know, right? Because in my worldview at that point, that was absurd. That was crazy people talk, and that's what gets you locked up, right? Um, that's what gets you. I talk about all of this now with my therapist. She hasn't locked me up, fortunately. She's a wonderful lady, and we talk about this stuff a lot. Um,
Yeah.
so, yeah. Anyways, I think that. Sorry, I got a little bit down the hole there. I think I answered some questions. I think I got off on a little bit of a tangent.
Yeah.
I'm throwing it back to you.
No worries. Okay, I've got a couple things. First off, I think just mentioning the fact that you have a therapist is freaking awesome. I have a therapist. I think everybody should have somebody to
think we
talk
need
to. Doesn't matter if you have a crazy story or not. I think
Yeah.
everybody needs somebody to talk to that isn't a family member or their wife.
I usually
or
just jack off, eat a sandwich, and take a nap. I mean, it's a lot cheaper.
Usually that works.
It's a lot cheaper than a therapist. Fucking wake up, try again tomorrow, you know?
That's hilarious.
I don't know how sustainable they do. White bread goes bad very fast.
I think I
eat
did
wheat
talk
bread.
about. Oh, I think I did talk about ejaculating in a cup for the aliens or whatever. Because that's one of the things they talked about, right? These unknown pregnancies. That's in the news right now,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that I thought about in the context. Like, damn, if we came out and said about aliens are real and they really do want that shit, you'd probably have like weirdos. They're like, here, let me wank it in front of aliens, right? Like we don't know. That sounds like craziness, though, right?
There is there's a fetish for everything. Seems like.
Absolutely, right? Because I was at this point, I was stream of consciousness, and I was like, what? Yeah,
And then I came in a cup. Here you go.
came in a cup, right?
Look, this whole story is actually about
Yeah, right.
Gina sounds like a hot babe. I'm just gonna say.
Gina. So, I have thoughts also on why I picked the names Jack and Gina. I'm not
these
sure I
are-
want to
For
go
those
into them.
who don't know about Jack and Gina, they are the extraterrestrials, right? That are of
Talking to me.
yeah,
or
talking
abducting
to
me.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to say it.
Yeah. Absolutely. They are the characters that I made up. By the way, Jack was a pun at the time because people could ask. I wanted to put like plausible deniability into the story, right? Which is part of the reason I made a throwaway and left it and said, don't ever believe me, right? I wanted some plausible fuck, I can't talk. Plausible deniability.
It's hard.
It's hard. Yeah. And so I think I put one of the people as Jack because I could always use the pun. I don't know Jack. You remember that game in the 90s? You don't know Jack, and it was a
I don't
trivia
know
game,
Jack.
right?
Huh.
Because I loved the pun of it, and I talked about like Shakespeare in the story too because I'm an English major, right? And he's a master of like double meaning, right? And that's like a very big thing in Shakespearean literature. And so I loved the pun, and so I went with it. Yeah.
I love that.
There's nowhere to go. Oh, that's a great.
So So tell us about Jack and Gina, though. Like, I mean, you say we're
Yeah.
like we're the because I just love hearing the description. Like, if we put ourselves in the timeline as if the story was happening, describe that for the listeners.
So Jack and Gina to me were kind of like they were characters, right? They represented to me, they represented the more intelligent universe or God or civilization or the folks who had the answers. And so this is going to sound so during the question and answer portion, right? I think is when Jack and Gina came up. I think I can't remember 100%. It's been a long time, but whatever. In any case, uh, Jack and Gina were kind of like characters that I thought of to interpret questions through, right? And I talked about they showed me videos, right? And that was something that I thought. So one of my kind of thoughts was like, if you can predict the future, which I've talked to my therapist about this stuff. We've talked about like intuition and stuff like this, and who knows, right? We don't know. It's hard to know. I don't. The best I got for evidence is a made up stupid fucking story that I wrote 8 years ago, right? So I'm doing the best I can. Anyways, so they were characters that I kind of interpreted myself asking the questions of that people were asking me, right? If that makes sense. Because I variously interpreted the that stuff as like me asking questions of my future self, right? Like if time is non-linear, can you ask questions of yourself in the future and get answers? I also thought of it as asking like a unified consciousness of the human race, or asking higher beings that experience time at a different time dilation if you communicate telepathically with them. By the way, in my sightings that I've had in the last year, I firmly believe, and I've talked to my therapist about it, that these things communicate telepathically because of a couple things that I'm more than happy to talk about. Again, it's just anecdotes. Take it for what it's worth with a bowl of salt. That was always part of the allegory, right? Take it with a grain of salt. So sorry, that was the aside.
Bowl of
Coming
salt.
back.
Real
Yeah,
salt.
right. I was diligent to say
That's that cup we were talking about earlier.
yeah, the fellowship. People loved the bowl of salt, which I was very happy about.
I have a question about the telepathy thing, and this
Sure.
is just guessing here. If these things, if they are so advanced, do you think possibly we're talking about the Gary Nolan stuff, the consciousness stuff? Do you think that this telepathic communication could possibly be just a really highly advanced form of just communication technology that they're using that is possibly, just
Or
connecting with
meditation?
our own brain waves, stuff like that? 'Cause
Absolutely.
we have things today that we can make us see and hear stuff.
Yes.
Yes. And it's
The
just
military
it's
has
strange.
technology to do that. Absolutely. They can make you hear remote voices with our own technology that we have today. So the sheer statistics say that we're not alone. Everything we've thought about ourselves in all of history has been wrong, right? We were not the center of the solar system or the universe. We're likely not the only intelligent species here, right? Just from the pure statistics of it. And if that's true, we're relatively late in the game. So that means I'm not a statistician. I took like one statistics class in college because I was an English major. But like just thinking through it statistically, it makes sense that there are others that are more advanced than us. And one of the things that the government UFO reports say is that they are able to remotely target and shut off fighter jet targeting systems. That means they're able to remotely interrupt the flow of electrons in our circuitry. If they can do that to fighter jets, why can they not affect the neurons in our brains, right? Which are just electrical processes, right?
Yeah, that's all it is.
I don't know, and again, I'm not a physicist. I'm thinking about going to school again for physics. I would love to, but maybe that's a bad comparison. But that's logically where I go with this, and kind of all of that informed all of these thoughts, right? And so then what happens is, for me, this was the part that I struggled with all of the most out of all of everything, right? I mentioned my detachment from reality. If they can interrupt the flow of electrons in your brain, if they can invade your mind, the most sacrosanct place that you should have, right? I think, therefore I am. That's your sacred place. If
Right.
they can go there and play around, they can construct an entire reality around you, right? And so
Absolutely.
I literally talked with my therapist about this week. I said,
Yeah.
how do I know the desk in front of me is real? If a sufficiently advanced civilization exists and has advanced hologram technology, which I talked about in Throwaylien, how can we tell the difference, right? If they can remotely project voices, if they can create a hologram, we're very close to creating physical holograms now as humans. If they're more advanced than us, they can create a facsimile replica of anything you can imagine and make it appear as without any ability to distinguish reality from non-reality, right? That's the context that I wrote Throwaylien in, and that's all of these thoughts, and they came back to me this summer tenfold. Informed that first line, throwaway account because I'm afraid, right? What does this mean? Is simulation theory? Yes, Aaron's talking about it. Aaron is I love Aaron. Holographic theory. I mentioned the Matrix, right, in the Throwaylien story. Actually, fun fact: my cousin in here introduced me to the Matrix. I avoided watching it forever until many years afterwards. He had a DVD, and I watched it like 12 times in a single week. He could tell you if that's true or not. It's true. So I love the Matrix. But it's all about simulation theory. How do you distinguish, right? And so
Yeah.
the thing for me, and that I always came back to, is I think, therefore I am, right? I can't know whether this desk is in front of me. If it's a hologram, it's a hologram. It's Plato's cave. I mentioned this with my therapist literally this Monday. It's Plato's cave. What do you know? How do you distinguish from reality from unreality? And the thing she said to me is science is about predictability. She said, if you know you can. By the way, this is one of my fan arts from Throwaylien. I
That's
bought this
awesome.
and had her
Bring
send it to
that
my
back up.
house.
That's cool.
It's beautiful. It was Dorothy Parker. I am absolutely in love with this art.
Oh my god.
That's
So the
awesome.
aliens
Yes.
asking quizzically about humans, right? What is this a religion? What is this? Why do you
It's an
do these
idol?
things?
Talking about
Is it
this,
an idol? Right? Um,
dude. That dovetail. Okay, I want you.
Sorry.
Dude, I want you to complete your. Well, I probably just ruined it.
I
was
nah.
gonna say complete your
this
thought.
lost it for me.
Dude, as a fellow ADHD person,
Yeah.
I realize it is over. But okay, so
you guys needed more ass whoopings when y'all were kids. That's what
I had
100%.
my switch.
100%.
y'all needed more ass whoopings. So y'all pay attention. Shit.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Fun fact: I used to one time when my dad paddled me after, well, I don't know, I had acted up, and I stuffed a bandana in my pants so it wouldn't hurt as bad. I totally got away with it.
Oh, dude, that's
We-
great.
Anyway, I think the
My-
gummies have really settled in now. By the way,
My brother and I would like really, we would like wink at each other, like really shower down on it when mom spanks us, and like, cause so that like mom didn't have to like spank us so hard.
yeah,
We'd be like, all right, really play it up this time. So like mom spanks us more often. And so
Yeah.
she was very soft. She never really
kids, man,
She never-
kids, they're crazy.
yeah.
It's hard, yeah. So I've got a kid, man. I worry about what kind of father I'm gonna be. Honestly, that's another thing.
Hey.
By the way, so one of the hard things about me coming out and talking about this story is I recognize I'm very fully aware of how batshit insane it sounds, right? And to be frankly honest with you, if I were anybody else, I wouldn't believe me because I have a hard time believing it, and I went through it, right? So all of that stuff, right? It's a crazy story. The internet's crazy. I've been harassed out of jobs in the past, right? So I said I'm afraid of humans, not aliens, right? I said it in the story. So I have a family now that I did not in 2013. So sorry, I might get emotional,
That is
and
a
that's something I have to
yeah.
think about.
Yeah, that's a huge. Well, the first thing is that's a very deep quote from I'm afraid of humans, not aliens. Like that's
Yeah.
if you don't know the story very well, that's a huge part of it because that's something that hit me like really really deeply. I have it in my notes.
Yeah.
Because an individual that's going through something as transformative as I'm gonna I'm just gonna remain saying that you are an experiencer, and I'm just gonna
Sure.
say that.
I mean, that's how I identify. People
Yeah.
can quibble with it. They can. I mean, the skeptics will say there's no such thing, so you can't be an experiencer. That's fine. People are entitled to their opinions, right? And I'm fully okay with that. The thing for me is be respectful, right? And that's more than anything else, right? We can have the discussion. The skeptics can be skeptics. The believers can be believers, right? But let's do it with respect, right? Let's
Dude,
right.
seriously.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
see that on UFO Twitter, the need for that, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
treat people how you would like to be treated. That would
Absolutely.
be cool, right? Like,
It would
I
be
think,
nice,
I
wouldn't
think
it?
somebody important said that, and there's a big book written about it.
Yeah.
You know,
Maybe they were onto something.
maybe they might
So,
have been onto something.
and if you think about it, that's common everywhere. Every it's across every religion. It's across our secular life. It's across our atheistic life, right? It's everywhere. So why are we not fucking getting it, right? It's
Right?
like,
Yeah,
come
dude.
on. It's we all are trying to make it through life, right? And it's hard already. We're trying to figure this stuff out. We're on the verge of understanding something potentially very great, right? I will get emotional. So let's just be nice to each other, right? We see what's happening in Ukraine. What's wrong with us? So yeah, that's where I'm
I don't know. I'm over here, dude. I didn't do it. Shit.
at. Cheers to that. We're trying our best, man.
I don't even like those guys.
I don't either. By the way, somebody asked, is he gonna offer anything to verify he's Throawaylien? So
Yes,
I'm looking at
please.
the game.
Do
Yeah,
that.
let's do it. So one of the things I mentioned the tooth, right?
Yeah,
That's an
dude.
actual fact in the story that's here. One of the things I mentioned is my niece. Okay, I put her in the story as a certain character, and I would like for here. I'm gonna pull it up. These are my cousin. They can either see them in the chat. They can list if they want to list the daughters of our grandma in order from oldest to youngest. Right? They're gonna see the character's name. They don't know. I don't think they know what the character's name is, right? And this relies on, of course, trust that we're not bullshitting this, right? That I didn't get a couple of guys together and say, "Hey, let's go yank some chains," right? Uh, so it relies on, again, witness testimony, but this is witness testimony, right? So some of the facts about my life that I encoded into the story. So yeah, so my brother and cousin, if you could just list off the name of our aunts, right? That would be great. And then I've got another one that I will do. The age of my niece in the story is the aunt, right? Um, and that's a good point. Experiences are experiences, right? I have no idea whether any of this shit's right or wrong or whatever. This was my experience, and it meant a lot to me, and so I cannot help but talk about it because to me it speaks of a grand mystery that I don't understand, and I have I have a compulsion to like a drive to find those things out, right? But these are experiences that I don't understand, and I feel like it is important to talk about them to help others to realize that it's okay to talk about these things. It's not crazy, right?
Yeah.
Um,
No longer.
but anyways,
Well, it changed after AT. Really? I mean,
yeah,
it was like I'm just buying time for those names
yeah,
to
just the
pop
first
up.
names.
But like first names. We're not But the timeline that you give, July 18th or 8th, which
Or 8th,
July
yeah.
July 8th you did post about it, and you were like, hey, well, nothing's gonna happen. So hey, I'll see you on the. Well, I won't see you guys on the 18th because I'll be gone, right?
Yeah, maybe. I really thought that I might get abducted. I was terrified on AT. They had that national UFO night out, and that
Yeah,
scared
on
the
the
piss
s-
out of me. Right?
yeah.
If there's something to consciousness and they manifest aliens, I don't know if that's possible. I have no idea, but it's possible as a possibility to me, and that terrified me. Right?
Yeah.
And so I had no idea. I was terrified. I wanted out. I was like, I opt out. I don't want to come back. I don't want to be abducted. Right? That was. Who's Throawaylien? I don't know.
Well,
yeah,
point,
yeah. Well, dude, I mean, a lot of people not knowing if you're one of
Yeah,
them.
look,
A lot of abductees and experiencers. I mean, I think there's like kind of a difference we can make there, right? There's people who have experiences, and people who have been abducted are obviously in that experiencer category. But then that's kind of when we take that and say abductee, right? There's,
perfect.
me and Ben have seen shit, right? That's experiences, right? I
Who
think
said
there's levels
Diana?
to it.
Dalton. Sorry, he misspelled your aunt's name.
Wait, should I put it back up?
What the? Yeah, Diane. Diane. So do Mike Papa. Diane is right. Come on. Come on, you ruined it.
Deborah, Donna,
Is that right?
Diane, Angie.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Diane was the name of the niece, right? And the
Uh-huh.
story I said she was 4. But I want I'd like for brother to say, was that right or wrong? I got to write the answer down. Sorry. I got to write the answer down. That was part of the game and I messed it up.
I know. I tried to like start the game earlier. I just didn't know the rule.
I didn't know the
didn't
rules
know the
either. I
rules.
forgot them. I forget things. I told you, my memory, man. Brother, the age. Before you answer, I'm gonna write it. This empty sheet, right? So you guys can see. There's a little scribble, right? Empty sheet, empty sheet. It's like a magic trick, right? Oh my god. Uh, and I'll write. Well,
You
shit,
gotta do
I can't
something
write it on here.
flurily with your hands.
Yeah. Well, this is the paper. You recognize this, right? So, I'm gonna write the answer down on here. How old she really was when I wrote the story, which was November 18th, 2013. You know the age. Give me a second. I'm going to write this down. I'm going to fold it up. Because I said she was a different age in the story, but it was off by a certain number. It feels like it's so cheesy, right? But here's whatever. This is the answer, right? Did he say it yet? Okay, yeah, brother, go ahead.
Closer to the camera. Let's see.
Sorry, so it's, oh, shit, he can see. It's folded up right now. I will wait until after I see his
sorry.
answer. Come
Oh,
on.
you don't have to hold. I thought you were.
All right, brother, are you there? I didn't see him if he said it. 2013, yes, correct. November, it's either 13th or 18th, but that doesn't matter because November, let's say 13th of 2013, you know how old she was in real life, right? These are just part of the silly details that I encoded because, like I said, the
Yeah.
proof is the story. Likewise, the details of my life are the key to the encoded story. And so these are those details, right, that I encoded. Mike Papa said she just turned 5. What's my number? It's like a magic trick. 5. Wait, 5 years old IRL. She just turned 5. So, boom.
Nice.
Another one, the jobs. I mentioned the jobs in the story. Story and online chatter can make these. Steve Long is right, and that's part of the hard part about this. If enough coincidences are there, it defies logic, though, that statistically you're talking about very silly things, right?
Can I say for those that are just listening, Steve Long said respectfully, thank you. Anyone familiar with the TAA, which means Throwaway Alien story, and online chatter can make these same allegations. So that's
very right. It's very possible that I have dug through all of the details of Throwaylien, right, and crafted an incredibly compelling story to the point that I went to a therapist about it, right? I mentioned the date, by the way. I started.
Yeah, but like, what kind of fucking loser just spends their time doing something like that?
Well,
Like,
it doesn't
God
logically
damn.
sense, right? I think that there is so the story of Throwaylien, I mentioned it's a pun, right? Because I like puns. The thing about puns is that it requires you to apply logic in a lot of ways, right? So it's just he's absolutely right, and he has a very valid point. And so just like I said as Throwaylien, take it all with a bowl of salt. I don't have a problem with people disbelieving me. I get it. The way I left the story, it was super final, right? I totally get it. But all of this, I hope, just gives context to some of that. And I think when you hear this real story, I think the pieces fit, is kind of my opinion. And that's kind of why I thought that some of these personal details in my life that could be verified by family members, if they chose to come forward and say these things, could help corroborate the story. That's why the story itself was always the self-encapsulated proof of itself. And I thought that there was something beautiful about that, right? Whether people believe it or not, I don't care. It's, I think, a masterpiece, and to me, it's one of the most important things I've ever done. And so I would like to explain thought process behind it. I also know that a lot of people struggled with things going into AT, and I wanted to try to help give some closure to some of those people, to tell them I was not abducted by aliens to the best of my knowledge. Right? It's possibly they mind wiped me or something.
Are you uncomfortable, Fool?
Yeah. Are you uncomfortable? Anybody uncomfortable?
I
Safe,
do have to
safe
pee,
space.
but like that's it. But I love that comment, but because this is like
I'm not uncomfortable,
this is real
though.
shit. Like
That's the thing.
I have talked to you before, but like this is all new stuff that we're talking about right now. Like you're blowing my mind, dude.
It blew my mind too. So it makes two of us. But yeah, so all right, so back to some more of the evidence. Like I mentioned the jobs in the story. Again, this is going to be it's witness testimony. It's like a court, right? I brought my witnesses, the two guys, right? I brought two guys with me. Said I was going to do in the story. Again, who knows? I could be making it all up, but at some point, logically, it makes more sense to believe it than to not believe it. But that's fine. There's still people that believe the Earth is flat, right? So what are you going to do? Anyway, so the 4 jobs. I mentioned. I'm going to write down, so in the 4 jobs, only 2 of them were mine, 1 of them were my brother's, and 1 was a friend of mine's. So my brother will be able to confirm the job that he had, and he'll probably be able to confirm the jobs that I had too. So once again, it's like a magic trick. Here's my empty piece of paper. Here, I'm writing on it right now.
Don't show us,
circle.
dude.
So that's the circle, right? That's how you know it's this piece of paper. The jobs I listed, I had it pulled up earlier because I can't remember exactly, but I listed. I remember the jobs I listed, but I didn't remember the order I listed them in the story. But it doesn't matter. Don't matter. Box, get away, thought. So the 4 jobs I listed were, I think, a sandwich shop employee, janitorial work, a shipping company employee, like packing boxes, and delivering pizza, I believe, were the minimum wage jobs I listed. 2 of those were actual jobs that I held in before this time, period happened, and 1 of them was one of my brother's jobs because I wrote my family into the story extensively, which is why it was a story, right? Let me write these answers down, and then I'm going to fold it, and you guys can see that it's the same piece of paper right here, right?
Yeah. Take your time. I've got some
Sure.
some audio to play too.
Oh, Jeopardy music? Oh.
Giant blocks of stone.
So play again.
Giant blocks of stone.
That's all I'm thinking about because I want to ask about the
The pyramid.
the pyramid. But don't.
Sorry. Yeah, we're good. We're rolling. We're going with this.
We're on the same wavelength, brother. Oh wait. So
All right, I've written down my bro's job and my jobs. I'm going to fold them right here so you can't read them. Here's that. Oops, don't look. Ignore my fingernails. They're very long. I'm sorry. That's the same squiggle I made before. Right?
I'll see it.
Verify.
I'll see it.
Bum. So, brother, what were those? Oh, sorry, I've got to keep it held up so I'm not pulling any shenanigans.
Yeah,
right?
we've got to wait for.
We got to wait for Mike, Baba, Mike, something like
Mikey,
that. What?
Mikey,
those
where
2
you at?
Mikey.
Yeah.
Mikey
Out of
would
those
eat anything,
4
dude.
jobs. Which ones were mine? Which 2 were mine, and which 1 was yours?
And these
That's
are,
correct. What you're texting me is correct, brother.
And these are details for those that
He's
don't know what's
texting me
happening.
right now to verify my employment history, so he's hearing, right? Well, I'm not gonna say. Well, I guess I just did, but you can confirm that he texted this to me. Right.
He says, you worked at a sandwich shop?
Yep.
I worked as the pizza guy. I don't remember you ever packaging boxes, but I think you worked as a janitor at some point.
Look here. Hey, here's me. Was a janitor in a sandwich shop, and brother was pizza bro.
I love how it says me.
Me.
Right? No, it wasn't Scrub Away. It was Blimpies. By the way, it's fun fact about that. My very first day, the entire rest of the staff quit and left me with the whole store on my own. It sucked. The owner was a little bit of a jerk, but I can understand left for probably a good reason. But yeah, it was a blimpie that I worked at. I was a janitor actually at 2 different churches. One of those churches I have a ghost story about, by the way. We can talk about it because it's creeped me the fuck out.
Yeah, I think in the next 15 minutes we're gonna switch to your experiences. And,
Okay,
yeah,
I think that sounds like a lot of fun.
hell yeah, dude.
So
Hey.
that's the evidence that I've got, right? And to me, I didn't bother with screenshotting the account because I figured that's easily faked. I'm a web developer. I can fake that very easily, right? With a change your system clock and write the web page. I could go in and do it right now and copy Reddit from 2013 and get the styling just as it was and say, look, this is me. I still have my phone from that time period. I've got my old hardware. I could fake it if I wanted to, right? So my theory and what I thought would probably be the most convincing is that if I encoded all of the details of my life, like the tooth, the niece, the family, the brother, the jobs, it would be convincing enough that a reasonable person would say, it doesn't make sense that this guy is lying, right? And so that it's all encapsulated, right? It's self-contained, like a good software developer encapsulates and abstracts things away. It's self-contained, like a Tic Tac.
Oh, did you say Tic Tac, dude?
Dude, Tic Tacs, yes.
Did you just say Tic Tac, dude?
Tic Tac.
Self-contained.
You said you do music, don't you?
Yeah, dude.
You guys play together. I used to jam back in. I used to lead worship at a church. My brother could tell that if he. Oh wait, Jedi Camper just said that. Synchronicities. He literally said that as I was saying the recap about the Charismatic church. Yeah, I led worship at an old church a couple times. My brother can confirm it if he wanted to.
So okay, we've got 12 minutes. I want to dedicate to like what the fuck questions.
Absolutely.
Hey, I have a question,
Joe,
really
go.
quick, because I'm gonna forget it. Okay, so do you hate jazz or what, dude?
I'm a trumpet player. But I got my braces off
too.
and I sucked. It's awesome, but I suck now. So it was a detail of encoded about my life. I play trumpet. I could get my trumpet now and play it if you wanted to. My son's asleep, but whatever. But I suck now, and it hurts the aliens' ears. They liked bluegrass because I lived in Appalachia, which is a detail my brother could confirm. They liked bluegrass, and when I was a reporter, I wrote an article about the bluegrass local jams in the region. I live 20 minutes away from Charlottesville, Virginia, which is the headquarters of Stargate, the CIA psychic research program. I think there's something geographically special about that area. I want to ask Lou Elizondo one day if Swananoa Mansion is training grounds for CIA astral projectors. That's what I
Can you
imagine.
spell
it being in
Swananoa?
Sure enough, SWANNANOA Mansion.
All right, got it.
The former governor of Virginia, whatever. Yeah, we got 12 minutes, 10, 9, 11, whatever it is. Some
The
number
countdown
of minutes.
is real, and
Time
if
isn't
we don't
real.
hit it, everything will catch on fire.
Okay. Right.
I don't have a time limit tonight.
I'm here. Whatever y'all want to do, I'm fine. I don't even know what time the show is supposed to end, to be honest with you.
Honestly,
I'm here.
here's the thing. Is like, there is no end.
We do
Fine as
whatever
a
we
concept.
want.
We do whatever the fuck we want to.
We're grown-ups, guys. We don't have our parents telling us what to do.
I am my own. I am a dad now, so I could do whatever the fuck.
We get to set the rules. That's
Yeah,
what-
we're all dads, dude. We're dads, man.
Oh god.
That's great.
So
So whatever else you want to ask, I'm totally open for. I think we talked about another game where you can ping me with questions about the meanings of certain things. If you want to do that, we can do that. Do whatever you want to talk about.
I do have a lot of those, but I want to ask this one first. Like, I like this idea of like what the fuck questions, like really random shit that like.
Sure.
Love your take on it. So, you said charismatic Christianity.
Yeah.
And you
Total.
We know that you, from what you've said tonight, that you've learned certain things from this I don't know.
phenomenon.
What do you? I mean, it's religion, a sect of a religion. Like you go Presbyterian and like Baptist. Like they're
Yeah,
both
Well, they
Christians.
believe in that stuff too.
They're like the wild ones, the charismatic
they
ones.
are.
They're like
Hey!
kissing snakes and shit, dude.
Well, I
what's
never
up?
kissed a snake. I never did the snake handling. That was too far for me. But yeah, I was
Not
involved
yet,
with that
dude.
stuff. There. So one of the things about Throawaylien is I was very paranoid about it developing a cult because I had been exposed to cults in my previous life, and I realized the super irony of like thinking you're predicting the future, right? And that all is part of the stuff that frightened me, right? But yeah, so background was charismatic Christianity. They are the people who believe the gifts of spirit did not cease in the first century. They believe that they continue today. So people like prophesy or have supernatural knowledge about things they don't know anything about physically, right? That was my theory, is that it's the same mechanism as remote viewing, as psychics, channeling, ghosts, or whatever. I've had my mom has had ghost stories. My dad has had UFO sightings. I've had UFO sightings. My brother's talked about my niece having maybe seeing ghosts before, right? So, shit, where was I going with that? I lost my train.
Charismatic Christianity.
Yes.
How did you get into it, and what does it mean?
So it's the charismata. Charismatic comes from charismata, the Greek, which is just the gifts of the spirit. It's just the word they used for that,
That's what's
I
up.
believe. So speaking in tongues, that kind of stuff. I'm not going to say. I will say. I do that today as a form of meditation, and I talked to my therapist about it. Right. I've talked to her about how I use it as an emotional release sometimes. Just those guttural noises, right? That you just don't know how to. Words don't quite mean it exactly, right?
I do that shit in the shower. It feels so good, dude.
Yeah, and it's nonsense, right? It doesn't mean anything, but it's
Yeah.
just like a. Anyways, they believe in those things.
Because y'all needed ass whoopings as a kid. They're both of y'all.
We
That's
did.
what-
So we were raised
Got
Jehovah's
our ass
Witness.
whooped, dude. That's what it
Yeah.
was.
We were raised Jehovah's Witness, right? And we were raised to not believe in those things. In college is when I get involved with the charismatic Christianity stuff, and I thought there was something to it, right? Because we had supernatural experiences throughout our lives. I remember an instance when when my brother was little. I don't know if he'll remember this or not, but we were sleeping at grandma's house, and he said, "Somebody answer the phone!" Like he woke up and said, "Somebody answer the phone!" And both me and grandma was like, "Dude, phone's not ringing. What?" And then the phone rings, right? And those are those synchronicities that I kind of mentioned earlier. Sometimes they're frightening. I had one with a spider as maybe they're coincidences, right? I get that. I understand. But sometimes they're a little bit frightening, right? I was convinced the CIA was going to get me this last summer, because of synchronicities, right?
Right.
Sometimes they're frightening, right? I didn't know how to process it. So, sorry, got off track again. But I'm sure you guys will get me back.
No, you didn't. You're doing great.
I just want to say thanks, guys. This is, thank you for letting me come on and try to tell about some of these things. I hope it gives some people some closure, right? And thanks
Yeah.
for just the opportunity to know you guys, right? Because I think you're cool guys too. So,
Dude.
but yeah,
We love you, man.
Yeah.
Like just the fact you're just speaking to us publicly is awesome, man. Like a lot of this stuff is very hard to put in. Not to mention like a timeline, but like how do you put into words exactly
Yes.
what you're thinking if you're
How?
experiencing some really like things that are not normal to the everyday person?
Yeah.
You know?
well, it's outside of the norm of consensus reality, right? Which is why if you experience those things, like things that whether they exist in reality or not, your perception of them may be that they are supernatural, right? It's again, it's about the experience, right? Your human experience, right? And all of the things that happen to you, it can be kind of discombobulating a little bit, right? So yeah.
Yeah, dude. So we're at that. We got 5 more minutes for what the fuck questions. Joe, do you have any?
Okay.
I want to know just about some of like your personal experiences. Just
Oh man, so I'll try to make it quick. When I was the janitor, right? I was responsible for locking up at night in the one building that was very old and it's built in the 60s. There were 3 chambers essentially to the big long building. There was 1, 2, 3, right? And you deadbolt all of them from each other so they're isolated. Whatever. One night I noticed the light is on in the top. I walk in downstairs, flip the light on downstairs, start walking up the stairs, get halfway up the stairs, the light cuts off, and I get creeped out. Right? Again, could be synchronicity. There's more to it. Could be just weird things, maybe psychologically creeping myself out. But the light turns off. I say, "Oh, that's weird." I'm not gonna go back downstairs to flip it off because there's a light switch upstairs, so I'm gonna go flip it on up there. Walk into the upstairs. No sooner does my finger even touch briefly the light switch, that the lights come back on. So it's like, okay, it's just creepy. I'm creeping myself out. It's late at night. I'm alone. It's probably psychological. How much did the building weigh? I don't know. Probably a lot. More than me. That's for sure.
He wanted to know how much the internet weighed earlier.
Weight, man. What kind of weight do you put on things? What is weight even? Anyways, so I finished locking up. I turned the light on off that was upstairs. I was like creeped out, so I was like, oh, fuck this, I'm leaving. Whatever. And I get downstairs, and there's more lights on downstairs, and I'm like, fuck it, they're staying on. I'm not going back. So the next time I'm at work, I tell my coworkers about it. And they're like, yes, dude, ghosts are here for real. The doors open and close on their own. All of these things, right? The other ghost story I have is when I was a reporter for Halloween one year. I went to an actual haunted house. I didn't believe in it at the time, but I thought there might be something to it. Right? This was 2012, 2011, I think. So I went to a real haunted house by myself with some man that I had never met, in a house that some lady died in doing a satanic prayer ritual that was supposedly haunted. And I wrote the story from that perspective, right, as a psychological thriller, because I was interested in investigating it professionally. Right? That's why I did it. Because anyways, I went out there.
What? That's great.
Yeah,
That's so scary.
It was creepy, and there were a couple instances. I'm not going to talk about them a whole lot, but there was one where he had the ghost radio, and it said "demon, demon, demon." And I was like,
I would
okay,
not
that's
go
weird.
I would not go to a haunted house with my neighbor.
Dude, I'm adventurous. I say I want to find out about the universe. Give me all the ghosts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of give me all the ghosts, I have had, I think, well, it depends on what they were or how you classify them. I have had several sightings over the last summer. I had one actually Sunday. It could have been a meteor. It just was off in the distance. It flashed into being, traveled a shortwave very slowly, and then flashed out. Very well could have been a meteor. I don't know, but that means it's unidentified to me, right? It seemed like it was moving a little too slow to be a meteor. I don't know. I'm not an astrophysicist or an astronomer. I do have some binoculars though. So the other one is the two that I think communicated with me are the most interesting ones, and try it quickly, but they are interesting. So one of them, I was actually talking with a friend from high school who, his name is Frank. He's a filmmaker. We're planning on a Throawaylien documentary probably at some point. I think we're going to do some interviews, whatever. He's a friend from high school. He knows me. He actually celebrated AT without knowing that I was the author, right? But anyways, I was talking to him, and I was sitting there, and I felt my whole body lock up and like point to a certain space in the sky, and I saw a couple of speckles, and then a white, one of those orbs, boom, popped in, wiggled like it was yelling at me, is how I describe it, and then it winked out. Again, just a story. I don't know if it's, who knows? Maybe I hallucinated it. Maybe I had some biological reaction. But if these things are, like the government seems to say, able of manipulating electricity remotely, did they lock me up and point me to that thing? I don't know. I have no idea, right? I don't know anything about reality. So I felt like it yelled at me. I know that sounds like lunacy. I don't have there's no video evidence, right? But how am I going to get video of that, right? It sounds like a story. It sounds like something you make up.
Can I just say, I meant to bring this up earlier when you were talking about this connection between like what is communication within the human brain, right? Like we all three were talking about like, yeah, we all agree that communication within the human brain, the synapses is an electrical process, but it's also chemical, right?
It is. Oh, that's true.
So it's almost like this, like entertain this idea, right? Like I'm not making a statement. I find this very interesting. I had this thought that it's the same concept of light being a particle and a wave, as to this phenomenon being something physical, not physical, or something that happens to you physically, but is also. I guess what I'm trying to say is like there's this duality, right? Like
Yeah.
you can experience it, and you can tell everybody like, hey, this is how I can prove it, but there's also those experiencers out there that can say, hey, I experienced this thing, but I can't prove it.
Yeah.
And that's just going to be a thing forever. Like, we're never going to get that answer.
Yeah. So one thing I think about on that topic, I do think that the nuts and bolts. I think one of the things that kind of helped me figure out time frames and stuff like that for the story was the fact that technology is advancing so quickly, right? And we are very close to having consumer off-the-shelf software or hardware that anybody can buy, right? Just my videos, right? They asked actually if I could call them out, and I think they're a wonderful follow on Twitter. They post. Maybe it's planes. I don't know. He seems like he tries to account for airplanes in the sky, but you know, sorry, I don't remember where I was going with that. But you see things in the sky. Who knows what they are. I see people say this guy's not TAA. It's funny to me, honestly. It's fine. It's perfectly valid to have that opinion. The evidence
Are
is
we
the
talking
evidence.
about the chat? Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I keep getting distracted. ADHD.
There's always one. There's always one guy.
Well,
Hey, we're
listen.
having a good time. People want
Yeah.
to be friends. Like some people don't have friends, and that's okay.
That's okay.
You can be our friend.
Everybody's
Just be cool.
Yeah.
It's conversation,
Everybody's
right?
entitled.
This
Yeah.
is all. I mean, hey, at the end of this, I still don't know. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? I still
Right.
don't know the truth, but that's the point. And if any of you people would like to come on and tell me fucking why this is not true, then by all means, please do send us an
Man,
email. We don't care. We talk to everybody. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. We're hearing everybody out. A lot of this stuff, we're not professionals. We're not investigators. We're not fucking journalists. We're not
Yeah.
ufologists. We're none of that shit. We're regular ass dudes just
We're
want to have
trying
some
to figure it out.
conversation.
Yep.
So you cunts calm down a little bit, all right? All right? Y'all
I
fucking
think
calm
anybody's
down.
the cut.
Jesus
I think it's
Christ.
perfectly reasonable to have questions,
Fucking
right?
think you
And
are.
yeah, it's
I love it when
this
there's
is
like
yeah.
I
Sorry,
get
go
it.
ahead. No. I'm
I love it when there's like this okay, I'm not calling out any specific person, but
Yeah.
there's this this person that comes out and says, dude, fucking like everything I say is like super mad, like you're wrong, and like that is full of like in confidence in yourself.
yeah.
Like you were just searching for somebody to give you validation, dude.
Yeah.
You want attention as much as the person you think is lying. You
And
want
that's-
that attention.
This
dude.
And
radio
that's the whole
host is an
thing.
Fucking
idiot.
jealous.
And there's two of us.
Yeah.
This
The- the-
yeah, no, I am an idiot. Yeah.
I'm
We
an
know
idiot.
that
I don't know
100%.
Jack, man.
We say
I
that
don't-
every week. We are dumb.
I have no problem with people thinking I'm an idiot because, by golly, I freely admit that. I don't have a
Okay.
motherfucking clue about what reality is, but by golly, I want to. And if I can do anything to help encourage disclosure or transparency on this topic, then by golly, I want to do it. Right? I don't have a lot to gain by coming up here and talking to you guys about this. There's a lot that I have that I'm putting at risk. Right? Ben, I've confirmed some of my employment with you. I've got a nice job, right? It's nothing
Yes.
to sneeze at. And
Nope.
some of my coworkers are here today, right? I got potential loss, right? I've been bullied out of jobs before.
Yeah.
So when I say I'm afraid of humans, not aliens, it's that kind of,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. Anyways, sorry.
It's another stitch in the blanket
The
that
weave, yes.
that a lot of experiencers like. I mean, dude, I don't think I've been abducted, Joe. I mean, dude, like
Who knows?
we've seen some shit, man. And if I were to ever like come out and say, "Hey, I've got a really awesome story to tell y'all about my abduction," it would
Marlena,
honestly, I would tell y'all by now, but I'd be really fucking afraid of it because
Yeah.
people suck, man.
People are hard,
suck.
but that's how it always is, right? I mentioned when I was a reporter, I would get hate mail regularly just for silly stuff, right? So I feel like I'm kind of a little bit more equipped to handle some of the criticism than some people by virtue of the fact that I have been public I have had a public career before, so I know a little bit about that, and so I do identify as an experiencer, and so I'm willing to take a little bit of heat. But it's hard, right? It's not easy, but I just hope that people will realize that it's okay to talk about these things. Yes, there's always going to be skeptics, and that's okay. It's healthy to be skeptical, right? We should be skeptical. The bowl of salt is I think a great pun for be skeptical. When you've only got one source saying something, it's okay to be skeptical about it. Now,
Yeah.
maybe they are convincing, right? And I'm here to tell the facts about myself. Uh, Matt, yeah, sorry, no more chat. Yeah, stay on course.
Eyes up here.
um,
Bullet.
so yeah, it's I think that the experiencer testimonies are important, and I think that the eyewitnesses like the pilots are important. I hope they keep coming forward. I think they've had enough evidence right now to come forward. I hope they do keep coming forward. I hope others come forward and say, listen, there's something strange going on. What's Havana syndrome? Who knows, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Anyways,
Dude,
somebody
hey,
said I'm a virgin in my mom's basement.
I
That's
just want to
actually funny.
I want to go hard on DY and BD.
I
Said,
almost- I have a
he said-
son. It's
it's actually
adopted.
really. He goes, LMAO at the virginity in mom's basement. In
Oh, that's funny. Oh, yeah.
First off,
But
that's
it's the
fucking
internet, right?
hilarious.
And to be fair, the traveler, right, pissed me off because he was like LARPing on top of my thing, which I didn't know how to process already. And I was upset at some of the LARPers, but like, what the fuck can I do? I'm telling people I'm an abductee. I don't know if I am or not. Who knows? If they can mind wipe you, who knows? How do I prove it? Right?
Who knows?
So it was one of those things, but I was upset at the traveler, and it was pretty clear to me that it was a LARP because I knew who I was, and I knew he was bullshitting, and it spawned a whole subreddit and a Discord,
Dude.
and it bananas.
Okay, so we're out of time for like. I mean,
Okay.
if we want any constructive, like whatever, like for the TAA story, dude. Like I know there's so much
Yeah.
more, but I want to hear about you, man. I want to hear about your experiences.
Sure.
Joe, you started off with the ghost story, and Thoreau, you started off with the ghost story. I kind of want to transition into you as a person, man. Like.
Sure.
I know we kind of touched on it.
well,
but what
yeah.
is your relationship with UFOs, aliens?
Oh man,
Anything
I love you the topic of UFOs and aliens. Ask brother and cousin, right? They get tired of me talking about it, and because it's an interest of mine. And I talk with my therapist about it a lot. It's a big driver in my life, right? The unknown. Yeah, I love aliens and UFOs and what it represents, and the potential progress for humanity that it signals is on the horizon if it's true. And we've got folks like the Galileo Project, like UAPX. We got Sky 360, which by the way I've onboarded with as to try to contribute to some of these software efforts, right? So these organizations that I think are going to have proof that this stuff is real. What does it mean for humans? We're already tapping into. This is all a part of my interests, right? These are what I think. This is what I think about in my spare time. Elon Musk has got Neuralink, and you have direct brain to computer interfaces. When you can scroll through the words on the screen with just thinking it, does that mean the computer is part of your body? What does that mean? What does it mean? And that's what I think about. That's what drives me. And when I think about telepathic communication with aliens, what does that mean? Right? And my mind just investigates. It ADHDs down these rabbit holes, and I scare the shit out of myself sometimes. But sometimes I happen onto something that I think is actually maybe something there. Right? And so I hope that being able to talk about this stuff lets me talk about this stuff, right? And it excites me. Astrophysics, right? And aeronautics. SpaceX is doing amazing things. I love SpaceX. Fun fact, I emailed Elon Musk in 2012 or something. I was like, can I be an investor? I was like, if I can just get $10 into SpaceX, I'll be set for life. I later invested in Tesla, right? Yeah. So I love these technologies.
Sorry. Anytime we want to be like super nerdy about something, we close our nose.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mr. Musk.
I'd like to tell you something,
Elon
sir.
Musk. Dude, I hate my voice personally, and whenever I go through the drive-through, like the person at the drive-through always goes, "Yes, ma'am. What else can I get you?" And I'm like, "I'm a guy, for crying out loud." Yeah, amazing.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
It's
Would you like sauce with that, ma'am?
No, god damn it.
They're like shower down on it. Like, do you want to eat hot sauce, ma'am? No.
But it's fun. I think about my experiences as Throawaylien, and I really did feel kind of bad because I put things in the story. I don't think I was abducted, right? I don't think I was, but I framed things I hoped to give enough clues, like the bowl of salt, and putting abduction in quotes, right? And I said, it's not like you were abducted. I literally said it, right? It's not really like you're abducted, but yeah. And to me, that kind of does explain the phenomenon. When these things happen, you're interested. I'm intrigued, and I'm afraid. And oh my God, what fucking thought was that, right? And it's frightening, but at the same time, this is a new frontier that has opened up. We have no idea what's out there. There are threats, there are friends, there are all kinds of things, right? And we can go and explore and find these things, right? That's what excites me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Dude, I love that. See, like, there's so many people within the last couple of years that either became like closeted UFO nuts,
Yeah.
and then the government
Eric
comes
Weinstein.
out and yeah, exactly, perfect, yes, great example,
Right, dude.
that have come out of the woodwork, and now it was like super light and positive, like
Yeah.
like this past summer, right?
Yeah.
And
it
then
was a lot of
lately-
fun.
It was so much fun. And like lately, everybody's like second guessing themselves. And
Yeah.
I'm saying that in a very positive way. We all know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah.
there's some negativity going on that's is unnecessary, and
Well, yeah.
it's not helping anything. Like,
The thing is, we can disagree. I think we can disagree, and I think this is one of the things that I hoped we could take away from Throwaylien, right? It's okay to disagree. It's okay to think somebody's an idiot. Maybe don't say it, right?
You can, but you're just wasting your time because nobody
you're
cares.
and you're not doing any good, right? You're not if you really care about it, and you don't if you put the personalities aside, right? If you care about the topic, what is the evidence, right? And that's the question of Throwaylien. Where is the evidence? Well, the evidence is right there. The evidence is that it is, right? The proof that I have a son is that, I have a son. It's the fact of reality. Sure, I can say, look, this is my son, but what if my son dies, right? Does that still make me a father? I think about these things. So
Ooh,
yeah,
that's
it's,
deep.
I mean, so the fact of the matter is the fact of the matter. And yeah, I think we can discover some very exciting things in the future. I hope we can. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, man.
I think we will, man. I definitely
Let's
think
learn
we
how to
will.
be skeptical but diligent, and I think we're gonna move. I think we're gonna go places as a species. I hope so. Anyways.
Hell
Yeah,
yes.
I
Hell
love
yes,
that.
man.
The positivity, we need to bring back that positivity, you know?
I agree.
Like,
It's okay to disagree.
the curiosity of it all, like, that's what brings us together, right? Like,
Yeah.
do you know one person that knows all the answers?
No, science doesn't. Religion doesn't.
Well, we're all still guessing. I
But
mean, in
what
the
if
whole
we-
span of time, I mean, we haven't been here very long, so there's a lot
we
out
haven't.
there. We don't know anything.
So
It's so like cliche to say, but like, if we all work together, maybe
Right?
we
Yeah.
can figure
What was that,
it
Michael Jackson
out
song?
together. You know what I mean?
I love it.
That was-
We're gonna sit around the campfire. We're gonna hate each other, but all be okay with each other and sing Kumbaya and let let's all be fools together, right? We're figuring this out as we go. Let's have charity towards each other. We don't have to agree with each other, but we don't know each other's experience. Sometimes they sound crazy. I know I've been through some crazy things that I wouldn't believe if I were other people. I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't. But it's okay to not believe, right? And it's okay to believe. And once you realize that, everything else is like, well, then let's figure it out.
yeah.
Yeah.
You said something, Thoreau, that I've been thinking about past couple weeks.
Mhm.
What is a fool?
That's a good question.
That's
I
one
don't
of
know.
me and Joe's favorite words. Fool. Fool.
Yeah.
You know what's a fool?
Well, it can mean a lot of things, right?
That's your
The linguist
friend.
in me is interested. Yeah, it's a slang. It's a fool. But a fool, like, yeah, what would the dictionary say? Well, that's one way to define it. What do words mean, right? What are they? What is even a word, right? What
Yeah.
is a word fundamentally?
It's a frequency taking up empty
frequency.
space.
It's a vibration,
Yeah.
right?
Joe.
It's a
Traveling
vibration
through the air.
Look, and you can hear me remotely through technology. But I am vibrating the air right here. That's what this thing helps me do. It converts it to digital, right?
Yeah.
What is a word? What does anything mean, right? fucking knows?
At this
I
point,
don't know.
it's kind of crazy, right? Like to try to break down anything, try to explain to somebody, like, oh, dude, what's that like famous Disney movie? It's like it's got the guy from Tool guy.
The Disney
He was
movie.
the
Bob
Santa,
the Builder.
Santa Claus.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
No, it's from the Santa Claus.
Tim Allen?
Tim Allen. It's got Tim Allen, but it's about that he finds a kid that's like living in the woods, man, and he's
Puff
got
the Magic Dragon.
and he like has the dart.
Oh,
You know?
shit.
Come on.
Like he was fat or something.
Jungle
and he's
to
like
Jungle?
de-aged.
Jungle to Jungle.
No.
Dude.
Oh, is that Santa? No, that's
What?
oh right.
Yeah, because
Okay.
him and his old lady, they separated, and she had the
Yes.
kid out in the Amazon, and so he grew up out there with the
Right.
tribe.
Jonathan Taylor
while
Thomas was in that movie, I think. Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
it? Was
Oh.
he? Was that him?
The American classic Jonathan Taylor
Thomas.
Taylor
Taylor
Thomas.
Thomas, yes. Tool Time, right?
Tool,
yeah.
thank you, Tool Time is what I was
That's
looking
it. Hey, we got it. Hey.
for. Oh my God, we did it.
Made it,
Three-
guys. We got there.
Look, all this show is about facts, okay? Like we're very serious.
Yeah.
It's so
Super.
serious.
No.
Just facts.
It's very serious, and we're not fucking around.
Oh,
We're
dude.
very but so like somebody coming from like even from a different culture, growing up and in a culture million of miles away that has no idea about technology.
Dude, there's tribes, right?
You know?
I'll mention my new subreddit, my new Reddit name. People can hate it, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. But I am a tribesman, right? Because what are we but tribesmen encountering this technology in the sky, right? What's that? There's tribes people all over the place.
Yeah.
That see our planes every day. What do they worship those things? What's an idol? You know?
Yes. Dude, you saved me from that's exactly where I was going with that. Thank you.
Yeah.
But,
No, we're
but it
vibing,
most-
man.
But like the most simple aspect of it, it's like, dude, no one knows shit, okay?
None of
We're
us.
all tribesmen. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter where you were born or where you're at.
Yeah.
Our Cessna plane that flies over once and we idolize it is our UFO, our UAP. We're like, hey, yeah, that kind of looks like a fucking bird, and that's why we drew it as a bird. And like, we have these like these dudes that were more powerful than us that like knew a lot more about these birds, so we made them half man, half bird,
Dude.
so that you would understand.
There's a lot of cool ancient alien stuff. I actually not long ago said I believe that Ancient Aliens on History Channel was kind of like the foundation of the modern conspiracy theory movement. I've changed, right? That's part of the whole change. I'm like, oh shit, maybe there's something to ancient aliens, right? Maybe they did come out of the sky, and maybe that's what the four creatures in the Bible are. Maybe that the eagle for the head and the body of a man, right? Or but we've got these things throughout all of our history, right? Like,
Yeah.
well, maybe there's something to it. When I see patterns like that, I start to think, well, maybe they're all observing the same thing, right? So,
Dude.
yeah, we don't know.
Can I tell you about like a really lame thought that I had like 2
Yeah.
days ago?
Sure.
So we know that in the Egyptian culture we have the Anubis, which is the dog head, and then we have the cat. I don't know what the name of the cat head god. Maybe there's not even a cat head dog. Cat
Something
head
like that,
god.
yeah.
But there's cats were like revered, right? What's the most like powerful or most famous meme on the internet? There's cats.
That's
memes.
true.
There's so many
Interesting.
cats, dude. What if we're just repeating history? You know,
Dude,
With the cat thing.
what if religion was just a giant meme, right? What if that's how they
Cats-
communicate?
Cats are cute. Dogs are cute.
I think that's very possible, dude. You know, I was
birds are cute.
telling Ben last week, dude, that like I feel like maybe all these religions and shit, you know, like are just they're just little pieces of like
Something, yeah.
you know, like something happened and they were like, oh shit, that's crazy. That's probably God, right? And then like thousands of years later, something else happens and they were like, holy shit, must have been God, you know? And we just did that multiple times throughout history. I mean, who knows?
I remember being in a sociology class in college. In Throawaylien story, I said that I did not graduate college. I did. I was actually the first person in my family to graduate college. I reversed that in the story, right? It was the obfuscation of my life. But I was in a sociology class in college, and the teacher was like, "Every religion has a flood story. It's proof that none of it's real, and they all made it up." But I thought from a different perspective. I thought, if multiple people are saying the same thing, it doesn't make sense that they're all making it up, right? And so I thought, maybe the flood, maybe it really did happen. Maybe it isn't. Maybe the Earth is a Noah's Ark, right? It's a traveling spaceship. We travel through space. Maybe Earth itself is a spaceship, and the DNA is Noah's Ark, right? Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, so these are all the thoughts that go through my brain almost every day that I talk with my therapist about.
I love it.
I told her I was going to do this podcast, by the way, and she was like, "Okay, get ready."
Yeah.
She was like, just be safe. So yeah.
What I find beautiful about that is, like, what does she mean by being safe? It's like being
It's physical safety, right? And I had told her about some of my fears, because anybody can do anything on the internet, right? And if they see your story and they say, you wrote a doggone a doggone lie, LARP, son of a bitch, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna come to your house, because people do that now, right? They call in SWATs or all manner of crazy things that are dangerous, right? And so, sorry, I don't remember where I was going with that, but something struck me to think those things, right?
Sometimes it can be like, oh shit, we've brought this into the real world, like with the SWAT thing, right? Like doxing and shit like that. That sucks, man.
But it's a real phenomenon, and coming out like this is hard, because those are real threats, right?
You know what sucks even worse is the karma that comes after somebody that swats somebody else, dude.
That's true. That's
bro.
also true. And it's a crime. It's a crime. False report of a crime is a crime, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
If you don't pay for it in this life, you pay for it in the next.
Hey, DYNBD wanted to say that your writing was brilliant, by the way.
Did he really?
Oh, that's so nice. So I know that DYNDB, he said that.
He said the real Throawaylien story writing was brilliant. Yeah,
So-
hey, that's
so
a
the-
great compliment. I agree with you, actually.
He loves your story, dude.
Yeah.
I agree with him. I think it was pretty dog. By the way, one thing I do want to say. Try to be brief, whatever. What I thought. So after I posted my thoughts on the future in 2013, I believed that it very well may have been a self-evident proof of remote viewing, right? Because how could you know the future? Just like I said, the very fact of my identity is in the story. The fact that the story became popular when it did was based on the fact that I thought I was remote viewing the future of disclosure, and I thought if I was close enough, I could get the story to land. I mentioned the balled up paper crumble that I throw from the past into the future, right? I thought I had that image in my brain, right? Which goes back to the charismatic Christianity stuff of like visions and images, whatever. But I had that image in my brain of throwing like a note to myself in the future. And I thought if it really is close enough, the very fact that the story becomes popular will be proof that it was more or less right? And by the way, I doubled down on the 7/18, right? I liked the way it looked for one thing, but I wanted there to be a firm close to the date because I was relatively sure nothing would happen, but I didn't know. I was genuinely terrified on the 18th, right? But I wanted a firm close.
Me too, dude.
Yeah, and so now I'm hoping to be able to tell people, listen, please be careful what you read on the internet. You never know what's true or false. A lot of stuff sounds batshit insane, and it's maybe true. A lot of shit sounds batshit insane, and it's not true, right? There was a LARP just today, right, about the intelligent viroid, and it got me, right? But regardless, I think it sparked some very important thoughts in my brain, right? About it sparked our imagination, and I think that's what good fiction does. So yeah, anyways, all of that stuff to say that, yeah, I thought the very existence of the story itself was kind of the self-evident thing that some kind of prediction of the future is at play, right? It wasn't just coincidence, but I wasn't abducted, so be careful what you read on the internet.
That we
right?
know of.
That we know of. Who knows? I have had experiences, and yeah, anyways.
BRB, you guys.
That's fun.
Where you going, dude?
What's happening? Just been drinking some drinks.
I'm gonna pee.
Mm.
Damn, I thought he was back already. I was like, that was so
That was
quick, man.
fast, right? Yeah, Lightning McQueen over there.
Yes,
Mm.
dude. Yeah. What are you drinking over there, man?
I'm drinking Yingling. By the way, I see my brother talking in chat, and he's right. I did write about things that happened in our lives. So again, witnesses, believe them or don't believe them. There are people on the internet, just like everybody's. How do I know you're real if you're a hologram? Cheers.
Right. Yeah.
You're not real to me right now. You are pixels on a screen,
That's
right?
right.
But I'm talking to you and interacting with you. It's fun to think about.
We are simulation right now.
I was talking with somebody else today about simulation theory, and they came to me about the Throawaylien story. They had actually met the Dalai Lama, right? But they were talking about simulation theory and how their interest in the topic really kind of impacted their mental health. And he said that this was really humbling, and so I'm going to say it, but I hope it gives more context, right? He called me his hero, and he said thank you, and he asked me for a mental health referral, and so
Hmm.
I think that kind of thing is okay, right? It's okay to talk to people about things we don't know about. It's okay to encounter things and be afraid, right? So,
Yeah,
anyways,
you never know. You never know what's gonna help somebody. You know,
yeah,
even just the simplest hi, or like you're standing at the Coke machine and you're like, "Damn thing's broken again." You know, you strike up conversation. You just never know
yeah.
like what's
You
gonna
don't know
help.
who I met somebody who has a very high profile actually in the video gaming community, um, through the story, right? And they tell me some things that are like, wow, that's very fascinating. You never know who you're talking to, right? And that's kind of the fun irony to me of being Throwaylien, right? Is people can still not believe, right? I like the idea of being able to go to the grocery store and not be harassed because you're some kind of celebrity, right? I'm like the anonymous celebrity, which is hilarious to me. But yeah, it's just the undercover boss kind of thing is something that amuses me, right? So it's just, to me, the story is hilarious in so many ways. It's tragic in ways. It's a comedy in ways. It's all of the things of life that we encounter every day, all in one power-packed 8-year story. So it's got laughs, it's got cries, it's
Dude,
got
yeah. I mean, it's a freaking crazy story, man. Like it's insane. You know, I mean,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
skeptical, not skeptical. Either way,
It's okay.
this
Yeah.
story is it really got a lot of people amped up, didn't
It
it?
did. It totally did. And
Like, holy
honestly,
shit.
going through it scared the ever living crap out of me. It was like intense. They dug into my life. They figured out that how fast I type, right?
Yeah,
Um, invasive.
dude,
Uh, I'm reloading my CBD here.
that's like creepy.
It was
You know,
creepy,
it's
right? And the
fucking
fact that I got a
creepy.
family now to watch out for, people can be mad at me if they want to. They can think all kinds of things about me because I'm just telling my story. These are my experiences. I'm being as open and honest as I can. People asked for Throwaylien to come and say the truth. That's what I'm doing. You're free to not believe it, right? And
Yeah.
that's all we can ever, what can we believe? So, anyways, it's
Hey,
it's a fun story. I love the memes, by the way, and I bought Dorothy's artwork.
dude,
So
that's some cool artwork, man, for sure. I definitely
there were
like
so
that.
many beautiful things. People made notebooks and like T-shirts. They had logos. I think Joey is not my name is one of the redditors that made some of the logos. They made the salt shakers and the trumpets for upvote and downvote. It
Hell
was awesome
yes.
to see the community collectively write more of the story because I only wrote a little bit. They wrote a lot more, right? And I think that's kind of interesting from a stream of consciousness aspect. Uh, maybe we were collectively writing this story. Maybe there was some consciousness phenomenon that drove me to do it, right? We're all partaking in this thing called life, right? And we collectively define our reality. And I don't mean
Yeah.
that in some mystical way. We govern ourselves through our democracy, right?
Yeah.
Me and you and Ben agree together to come on and do this show. We collectively manifest our reality through every day, right? And so,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's what made me frightening. what made me frightened about AT is like, what if they are manifesting aliens that come abduct me, right? Because people thought I was going to be abducted. I didn't know what to expect. I rolled the dice, right? I rolled the dice in 2013, and hot damn if I didn't come out with lucky sevens, right? Or whatever.
Dude.
Whatever's lucky in dice throwing, I don't know. But yeah. So those are like
I
a
am
lot
the
of my
collective
thoughts.
consciousness. Yes, speaking to you.
We are all, right?
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in the weird mystical way, but it's true at a fundamental level, right? So it's exciting, right? But
Yep.
anyways,
Yeah, dude.
cheers.
Everything's energy.
Dude.
You know, everything is consciousness.
I just got
think.
a
I don't
message
know.
from my brother that says, "Tell Logan Black that I'm your brother," and I think he wants the name. My brother is, I think he was under. We quoted him a couple times with the Diane and Angie and stuff. Mike Baba Mike.
Yeah.
Logan.
Yep,
No
Mike Papa.
Logan. No prophecy came true. It was a false prophecy, right? Because it was very, very unlikely to come to pass, right? So it's not a prophecy. I think of it as a remote viewing of the future, right? The fact that my brother says Mike Papa is his name.
Uh-oh.
So,
He froze.
Oh no! Thoreau has frozen. Thoreau has frozen.
man.
And we'll wait to the end of time for him to unfreeze. I have a note in my phone. I'm just buying time here.
Okay, no worries, dude.
But
Wanna show that cool ass picture?
dude,
Ah, yeah. Dude, hey, DYMBD, whatever the fuck your name is. Dude, like, I would love to, like, hear your side of the story. But you're such a cunt, I don't even want to spend my time on you. And that's what sucks, is that, like, I want to hear all sides of the story. Unlike you, I haven't spent fucking half my life looking into this guy's story. I apologize. I would love to hear what you have to say. That's kind of part of the whole deal, and it sucks that you're an asshole, because now I don't think anybody really wants to listen to you. That sucks, dude. That sucks for you.
I extended the invitation for him to come on the show, but now I think I'm rescinding it.
Yeah, I mean, like it's totally fine. Like if
just
you
a foul,
disagree,
just a foul person.
dude, I get it. It's fine. It's fine. Just calm the fuck down, dude. You're such a fucking loser. God, you're
Okay.
such a loser.
Dude, so Joe, you sent me this. Oh, he's back.
There he is.
Thoreau's back, baby.
Sorry, yes, my computer shut off. I think I warned you guys. Did I warn you, or did I?
did, you
You did.
Future?
Yeah, you did
tell
I
us.
warned you. I recognize patterns, right?
Yeah.
My brother's calling me. Let me see. Hey, brother.
He's like, "Where'd you go?"
You. Okay, we're gonna take you off for a second. Or give us a thumbs up when you're ready to come back in, Thoreau.
yeah.
Joe, tell us about this.
Okay, so our buddy Tattoo Timmy, right? The guy who did our tattoos.
Yeah,
so,
your tattoo.
Hey, I tried to set you up this week.
I know. I'm
you
just
said
giving
you were
shit.
busy.
I'm just giving you shit.
So I'm gonna go finish
What
mine
the
tomorrow.
hell? I can't. Okay, hold on. Here we go.
So the story behind this is his brother, his brother, right, and his wife were driving through Yellowstone National Park, and they said it looked like a massive storm was rolling in. Lots of lightning, lots of thunder, and there was no rain that happened. They were just like, this is a very odd thing. So as they're driving through Yellowstone Park, she's taking pictures because this is a cool looking storm. And they said that when they got back to the house, they were looking through the pictures, and this picture showed up, and they didn't see it while they were driving. It only showed up in the photo. Man, it just it looks strange. I can't tell. I want to send it to a couple people because I'm wondering if there's any like those ski lifts, or it looks too big to be like a guard station. Maybe it could be one of those fire stations that's out there. A lot of times when storms roll in and clouds. You don't see buildings and stuff. There's some fog. You don't see buildings. And when the lightning strikes, you see silhouettes of stuff. And so I'm kind of wondering, maybe, is this a silhouette of something off in the distance that we just didn't realize was there as we're, doing, photos. But then again, Ben, I need you to take a look at this and tell me about the artifacts, if you find any weird photo.
I'm just gonna open it up in Photoshop real quick. Just let me one sec, because I could look at the different values. Just give me one sec. I'm gonna need some airtime filler.
You're gonna need some airtime filler? Hey, well then, go to UFOGaragePodcast.com. Go check out all the cool stuff we got. We got every episode on there. We got t-shirts, we got cups, we got koozies, we got Dave Scott panties. It's fucking great, right? We're having a good time over there. And right now, dude, if you purchase anything from us, right now, it's going to Anomaly Archives. We take 20% of total purchases, super chats, and we put it back into the community. Because like I said before, we're not scientists and shit. We can't really do anything important. We just run this goofy show and like to have a good time with everybody. But, when you guys purchase stuff from us, we'd like to put that back into the community, help out. Anomaly Archives is up right now. They have got a amazing archive that was unfortunately shut down during COVID. The rent prices out here in Austin, completely skyrocketed. They're looking for a new home. These guys have books from the 1600s in there. It's absolutely amazing. They've got everything about any type of phenomena, whether it be witchcraft or UFOs or consciousness. These guys have won awards for, what was it, the number generator thing that they did where they were actually able to affect it. It's really, really awesome. Miles Lewis is a great dude. Smiles. Go back and check out our episode we did with him a couple weeks ago. He's just a great guy, man, and we really want to help these guys out. So you can help as well by buying a t-shirt. You can also donate directly to them. It doesn't have to go through us, and that's totally cool too. We just really want to help this dude out. So hell yeah.
Perfect.
That was my spiel.
Hey, dude,
It was a good spiel.
Thanks, dude.
I liked it. I'd buy stuff from you.
Hell yeah. Go to UFOGaragePodcast.com. No.
I can do that. I have an internet browser.
You're actually an official Dr. Scientist, by the way, which makes this whole thing even more hilarious.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Because when you come on the show, you're an official Dr. Scientist, dude. Because we
My
are
brother my brother and cousin are texting me. They're pretty upset about the chat. That's hilarious. It's okay. It's okay. I knew this would probably... It's okay, everybody.
Hey, we only have one asshole. It's okay.
I
feel like
and people are entitled to their opinions. Yeah, I it's better than I thought it would be, to be honest. Yeah. So I experienced it firsthand, right? People really made some nasty comments.
Yeah, I was expecting, things like, hey, scientifically, prove it, blah blah. But this guy.
That's the thing, though. Everything relies on your trust in somebody at some point, right? If you believe scientific evidence, well, then you're putting your trust in something the scientist has said, right? They are vouching for the evidence that they conducted. So you're still putting your trust in what somebody says, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said I was a virgin. And you know what? Just because I'm a virgin.
Yeah, it's okay. Do you remember those 90s commercials about, it's okay to be V or whatever?
Look, my wife had our child, and I'm still a virgin.
It's that's right.
Okay.
You're a holy man.
Child, right?
It's
possible.
I've never had sex,
and she is the chosen one.
I can't even say the words.
It feels dirty. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
We do receive milk in a bottle twice a day.
That's awesome. Do you really?
No, I just.
See, you got me. You got me. I believed what you were saying.
Oh God.
Fool me once.
That myth about the milkman, fucking the wife and shit.
That's not a myth, dude.
It's not a myth. Yeah, that's hilarious. My dad used to say that I look
like
my mom's doctor. Whatever, Dad. He also used to always say, "Don't make me beat you like a redheaded stepchild," because I'm a redhead, right? So,
Yeah. I mean,
I had
Ben's
daddy
been
issues.
Ben's
I
been
did.
wondering why his kid was Asian this whole time, and I think he just figured it out.
I thought that I had, who knows, man?
Oh, that's.
I could
that's terrific. We don't know. What
ties?
evidence? What evidence do we have that you're the father? I want to see genetic tests.
There's none. There's
Oh,
none because
no.
I've never had sex.
I need proof.
I've never had a
Wow.
house.
How are you a father? It's 666 USD. Oh Lord God. I'm turning
that's-
burn, baby.
Mr. Crowley.
That's very true. Mr. Crowley does have the only UFO garage dick pillow in existence.
Oh, lol.
So yeah.
It's true.
So tell me about this photo, Ben. What did you find anything in there?
I literally just started. Okay,
Oh, sorry.
so we're looking at levels. When I look at
Enhance.
just enhance.
It's intense.
I'm not a professional, but I do edit photos and do product photography for a living, so I know a little bit about Photoshop. When I look at Photoshop jobs and try to like debunk them or try to make my photos more realistic, I look at the scatter, the pixel scatter. So when you zoom in, you can see the gradient with the depth. So we can see that there's trees that are closer to the camera that's taking the photo.
That's called the foreground.
Thank you, Joseph. We have practices. They're a little bit more defined, and as you go further with the depth, you see that the color is the same, yet there is a larger pixel scatter. As we get closer to the object in question, it seems as though it is further than this line of trees, yet it doesn't have as large of a scatter, which would lead, if it was just that, I would be like, all right, let's look closer. Enhance. But now I'm seeing this shadow, this like phantom shadow, which... Okay, have you guys ever seen like the conspiracy theory videos of contrails in the sky? They're like, why is that contrail
Yeah.
making a shadow? It's because it's an atmospheric phenomenon. If you look at
or even like the floating city in China where it's like reflecting off of all the smog, and that's why it looks like it's up in the clouds.
Okay, so dude, honestly, I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly. It's yes, absolutely. So like there's when you think about light, right? Like it reflects and it bends. There's all kinds of stuff it does. With the clouds that we're seeing here, it's very cloudy, right? It's very bright in this center spot. So because from my surmises,
I think. Yeah.
surmisical backers. What I'm thinking is that it's what the camera did is focus in on this very bright area right here, and it saw this object, which I actually think is in the photo.
Dude, is that an alien ding dong on an alien spaceship?
Yeah.
It looks like it.
Are you talking about this little bump?
Yeah, the bulge.
Oh, that's what's up, dude.
He's got a chub, dude.
It's a chopper, dude.
That's crazy.
So if we were to enhance, that is my brush was way too large. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. If we were to enhance that,
I like it. You put a bird beak on it.
Oh, that's perfect. That's wonderful.
Those are the worst balls I've ever seen.
Panning testicles. So the alien is trying to follow Tucker Carlson's advice and pan his testicles. We
Yes.
solved it. The mystery is solved. They are here for our sunshine.
So, dude, I'm okay. So I'm wondering a little bit too, like if that's like foggy back there, and the light is coming down in the middle. If this object is there, could it be casting a shadow like in the fog?
Yeah.
from a distance, you
It's
know?
like something out of a movie. It feels like something. It looks like something out of a movie,
I
right?
know. Yeah. It's very strange, man. It's very strange. I looked at it for a while, but
Yeah. I mean, it seems to be a physical object affecting the area around it, right? But
yeah.
yeah. But that's every horror movie ever, right? The lightning flash. It's so stereotypical, but like, I mean, this is something you said your sister took.
No. So, my buddy Timmy, he's the guy
Huh?
who did our tattoos. So that's
Oh
basically
yeah.
his brother's wife took these photos, and that was the
Okay, so
thing
it's
is they were
yeah.
they're driving through the national park and they're taking photos and they didn't see this thing, like they didn't see it,
Wow.
right?
Interesting. Well, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
And he's like, yeah, we're going down this long road and it's just kind of if we're driving straight and I'm taking pictures, like we're just looking in this direction for a whole minute and the entire time it was lightning and we didn't see this object the entire time and yet it showed up in a photo and it's not in every photo.
I really think so. One of the things that I think
You're
right,
fucking this
I'm
up,
going to
Ben.
interject. Sorry.
Sorry.
One
You
of the
needed some
things
ass whoopings when you were a kid, Ben. God damn it.
Get a switch off the tree.
I'm
We're gonna
sorry,
make
dude.
the switch.
I'm sorry.
But it is interesting, right? If we think about, these allegedly, right, aliens can remotely turn off the systems of fighter jets. Could they remotely infect, for lack of a better word, the camera taking this thing at that moment, right? Could they imprint onto the old school film negatives if it was that, or the digital bits, right? Are they advanced enough that they could imprint this onto this thing, similar to when people say they see something and film it and it's not there, right? It seems like there's some kind of remote manipulation of our technology, but that sure does look like a physical evidence, right? Man, I don't know.
Now the question is, now I'm gonna have to go online and Google fire towers and all kinds of shit, right? I just got this photo last night, and I spent a little time looking at it, but there's gonna be some googling involved because I really I really want to figure this out. It's cool that it's like a buddy of mine who was like, "Hey, you're into UFOs? Check this shit out. This is kind of weird, isn't it?" Yeah, it's a little strange.
It's weird. I think reality is stranger than fiction. Yeah, it's weird. That's what you guys are about. All things weird.
All things weird, man. You
So,
know?
dude, you said something about firehouses.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember that one in Temple? There's like a firehouse in Temple that looked eerily similar to this. It was a very strange shape. Only thing is that there was no bulge here, but it did have this. I remember this so specifically. It was like it was a very straight staircase. It wasn't as like oblong as this, but
And was it as tall as those trees? I mean, those are massive, dude. Those are
No.
massive trees.
Well, it's hard to say because I think these in the foreground are probably like 50 foot. These are, I mean, shit. Maybe they.
Let's
are
call
very
in Mick
tall.
West on it.
Dude.
Mick West. I would love to have him on the show.
Well, I mean, on this photo, like tweet him or something. Be like, "Hey, Mick West, what you got on me, buddy?"
What do you think?
Let's tweet him and just wait.
And yeah, I'm a big fan of tweeting and then waiting, or of social media and waiting.
I'd like to give credit to my buddy Timmy's brother's wife. Hashtag
Yeah,
my buddy
Instagram.
Timmy's brother's wife.
That's terrific. It's so interesting. I think, man, I think that there's more to the phenomenon, and I think it's weirder than we can imagine. And what insanity do we live in? What reality is this? Right? Craziness
Yeah.
is that.
So Ben, you still haven't told me what you think, or you did, and you just use crazy words that I don't understand. Does it look funny, or does it look kind of legit?
It looks legit, bro.
Yeah.
It looks legit. Here's the thing that does trip me up is this shadow. The fact that, okay, I'll try to explain here. Not that I know what the fuck I'm talking about, but you see this cloud here?
Uh-huh.
So that to me is a point of reference for your your focal length. When you look at photos like this of shadows of contrails, it's very consistent. Like these stratus clouds are relatively the same altitude, so they would give off the same altitude of shadow. Actually, in this case, not so much, because this thinner layer, can y'all see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So this thinner layer here is at a specific length from the actual contrail. This thicker layer, which you would think to be lower, is, I mean, at this angle does seem to be a little lower. It's not a straight line. This, however, is a straight line. So if you're looking at the density of this particular cloud right here, this line, this shadow keeps going. So that would mean that it's fake.
Interesting.
That it didn't change. So if this was
But it's
real,
interpretive, right?
sure. No, I'm
You're
not saying
right. We're interpreting evidence. That's what we're
Absolutely.
doing. This is
Yeah.
evidence, and we are
Yeah.
interpreting it, right? We are reading
Yeah.
the signs that we have in front of us to the best of our ability, right?
Yeah.
This is yeah. I love this.
Absolutely. So this is just my
Matthew Roberts, yes, that is lightning. They took this, and there was a storm off in the distance, and so that is lightning. And it was still daytime, but the storm had rolled in, so it made everything look really dark. And they said they didn't get any rain, but there was a lot of thunder and a lot of lightning, and that's why they started snapping photos.
So, fun fact: Matthew Roberts he was a Navy witness to one of the UFO events. I think on the Teddy Roosevelt. He's pretty public. He's written a book about it called Initiated. But he's a witness. I asked him if he would come in here, so I'm happy to see him in here. He's got a scientific mind, a technical mind, I think. So yeah, I'm glad to see him commenting.
That's
That's
awesome.
cool. That's cool. I like that.
Matthew.
All right.
Oh,
He was like, okay, thanks.
all right. See you guys later.
He's a very cool dude. He really is, and yeah, I think we need more people like him to come forward and to be able to talk about things that they've seen, and as crazy as they sound, right? But I think he's a really cool guy.
Dude,
That's cool, man.
Welcome, Matthew Roberts. Hell yeah,
Yeah.
man. That's
I'd
awesome.
love to chat sometime, man. Hit us up.
Dude, yeah, do it, Matt. Hit him up, buddy.
Yeah,
that'd
Matt,
be great.
Jesus, dude, hurry up.
Do it already.
It's been too long.
All right, we waited a long enough.
Yeah. By the way, I know it's getting late. It's 11:30 my time.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm definitely aware of time progressing.
Yeah, no, dude, I literally, I feel like we just sat down
I
and
know,
started.
right? It's so much.
And
I enjoy this with you guys. Yeah.
dude, I have so many more questions. I could talk to you for hours, brother.
Well,
I-
I mean, you'll be on again. So
Maybe I don't know. It really is. It's hard for me. You know, it's being public about these things, exposing yourself to the ridicule, the ostracization, all of those things. I do fundamentally identify as an experiencer, and yeah. So I don't give it some time, right? Never know.
Yeah.
It's hard to know the future.
and I'm just throwing this out there. And I mean, if you say
I
no,
love
that's
talking.
totally
I would love to
fine.
talk about consciousness too some more. I
Dude.
think Diana Pasulka, Gary Nolan had a terrific interview with Theories of Everything today. I think people should go watch that because I think it is fire. Right? I
So
think
good.
it's-
Yeah.
Yes.
Theory of
so
everything with Kurt. Yeah. Such a-
absolutely. He asked incredibly scientifically oriented questions with logic and math and all kinds of great stuff. Yeah, absolutely check out Gary Nolan. He's doing real research with real evidence, like an actual scientist with a degree in all.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a doctor.
By the way, I don't know Theories of Everything. I'm not. I just mentioned it because Gary Nolan is an awesome person, and I think people should check out his research.
Yeah, dude. Gary Nolan is that interview today was freaking fire. Also, Eric Mitchell, the dude we're doing a documentary about, reached
cool.
out to Gary Nolan back in 2013, and
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
dude. Yes. So he reached out to Gary Nolan and said, I mean, I've got the email, man. Like it says like, well, wait to the documentary, but
Yeah.
like,
yeah, I
he-
want to see it
he
now.
basically confirms the location in the brain, which is he
Karate
mentioned it
Pudam.
today. The Katatamen,
Something
Claudia
like that.
Pataman.
It sounds
Katatamen,
rude.
Carpetamen, I'll tell you what. And then the basal ganglia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So-
think there's real science going into this, and I think we're going to get some answers about consciousness. I have nothing to back that up other than opinions.
I
But
think
hey,
we might get some answers on telepathy as well.
I think we're gonna. I sure hope we do, but I think we are too. The signs, the magic 8 ball, the signs point to yes, right?
Yes, dude.
Next time we got to get into ESP.
Oh my God, I do the trainer. I saw the picture of the app that I sent you.
So real quick, I mean, I know we like, we're
I'm
not
enjoying
like
this time, but yeah.
we're not like at a specific deadline. We can go whenever we want, but I mean, just real quick, I do want to share this.
Yeah,
So,
I think it's neat. It's
so
data point.
the images that you sent me were, well, explain these.
So this is an app called ESP Trainer, right? Ignore the editorialization of ESP ability present. We don't know that. We just know that you did better than chance, right? But it is an app that I believe was developed by NASA and Russell Targ, which I know that people have thoughts about Russell Targ. Well, whatever. But it picks one out of those random colors randomly every time, right? And you get 24 tries to guess them all. And random chance would account for about 1 in 4 correct guesses, right? If you were getting a random chance. Now, this is just a data point in the psychic phenomenon or, greater consciousness or whatever. Doesn't necessarily mean anything, but these are things these are my scores after a few attempts in a row or whatever. So again, you look at it in terms of statistics, likelihood of being on or off, and you see in this one, for example, I got 6, 7, 8 out of 24, which is 1 in 3, which is significantly better than 1 in 4, which would account for random chance. I actually wrote a computer program to just randomly pick one number out of 1 through 4 and randomly pick another number out of 1 through 4 and see how many times the random pickups were correct, and it came out 24, 25 times out of 100, etc. About 1 in 4. So these are fairly consistently, in at least this run, I got 1 in 3 or better. So 8 out of 24 would be a 1 in 3 chance. It could be chance, right? You get on a roll sometimes. It's like Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Maybe I got it right, but this one had 9 out of 24, better than 1 in 3. Right, and you can see the timestamps. I think they were fairly consecutive, and it takes a little while to do these things. Again, this is not proof of anything other than I used this app and got a little bit better than chance, right? But those are the same conclusions that the Stargate program, which I did live near, by the way, right? They came to some similar conclusions that things like psychic phenomena are slightly better than chance. And you can have rock stars that get 90% or whatever, but you can have people that, and I firmly believe that this is by the way, I just believe that these kind of phenomena are common to human experience, and I believe that anybody can do them, and I believe that's the connection back to charismatic Christianity, because they actually practice these things and train in, I think it is extrasensory perception or things like that, right? And so this was part of my attempt to scientifically gather data. Theoretically, if I was, again, it's just a data point. It doesn't mean anything. It's one piece of facts that potentially supports something or doesn't support it, and you make up your own opinions, right? But it's an app that I did several times, and I did okay. That doesn't mean necessarily that there's anything to it, but at some point you start looking and see maybe there is something to it.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I love the idea that it's not specific to one person.
I don't think it is.
That everybody has the ability. Some of us maybe practice it more than others. Some unconsciously maybe practicing it more than others. And some who do have contact of sorts probably have it more than others.
Yeah. I think that I really do. And again, I have nothing to back this up other than the fact that I claim these experiences and I claim to have UFO sightings, right? I think that they are interested in investigating the psychic abilities of humans. I think that's one of the things they're interested in. And I believe that there are human hotspots as well as hotspots.
Yep.
So, but that's where the creepiness starts for me. And I start thinking about family curses stuff. That sounds like creepy stuff. Who knows? I don't know.
It's going to be so fun when we figure out that like all these folklore things that we take for granted turn out to be
Yeah.
somewhat rooted and scientific.
I think
We're
the
going to
reason
prove
that
them
I'm
in
coming,
science.
absolutely, the reason I'm coming out now and I'm willing to take the heat is because fundamentally that my theories will be vindicated, and I am stepping forward now when it makes no ridicule and ostracize, because I firmly believe that these theories, that there's something to them and that science will prove them out and prove uh, a lot of things. I believe it's on the horizon, and that's why I'm talking about now, is because I have the confidence after having gone through my own experiences to say that I firmly believe these things and I face behind the name. So that's, yeah. I think there's some interesting things on the horizon, and I'm looking to Gary Nolan and Diana Pasulka. Read American Cosmic if you haven't. It's a terrific book. There's so many good authors out there on this topic. There's plenty of research that's been done. We have a lot of answers already. I think the government's confirming this stuff. I think we're in for a wild ride.
Woo!
Heck yeah.
Thoreau.
That's where I'm at.
Thank you, brother. You know you got to come back, though.
It's not a no. It's not a no. I'm gonna have to. It's hard, right?
Yeah.
Keep bugging me. I know you
We'll
will.
chat, brother.
I have so many thoughts. I have so many thoughts I want to express.
That was just a sincere, just I guess sentiment of how much I respect you for putting yourself out there. Like, this is not an easy thing to do.
No, it's hard. And I said on Reddit, I legit spent a few nights crying on my patio. It put a strain on my relationship with my wife, and I will get emotional about that.
Yeah.
It's a hard experience. But I am firmly in the camp of I don't mind if people don't believe me. It's okay, right? But it was hard. And the people like you guys and the Throwaylien subreddit and the Muffin 32 or whatever, honestly, helped me so much. And I think they helped a lot of people. And there are so many great people, right, in the world. And so, yeah, thanks for being cool, guys, and for listening with an open mind, regardless of whatever evidence I've presented. Maybe it's convincing and maybe it's not, but that's the evidence that I've got. And thanks for listening to me and letting me come out and try to talk about this stuff, because I think we should talk about this stuff.
Dude, absolutely, man.
So
That's what this place is all about, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
That's
guys are
what the
awesome.
garage is all about. Just getting together, talking about really cool stuff, and
Drinking some beer.
drinking
all
some
things
beer.
weird, baby.
All things weird, baby.
CBD puffs, yeah.
I love it, man.
It's been a great time. It really has. I really have enjoyed this, and so thank you for the conversation, guys, and thank you for talking to people about it, because that's what it takes. It takes feet on the ground, talking, getting stories, talking to people, finding the evidence, finding the facts, sorting the wheat from the chaff. I think we'll get there. The more brains we have to throw at this thing, the quicker we'll come to answers. So yeah, I think you guys are awesome.
Love that.
Awesome,
Love it,
man.
dude. Thank you, man. Can't thank you enough, dude. Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah,
thanks for coming on, man.
You guys, thank you all.
Hey, we'll be in touch, brother.
For sure, definitely.
All right, man. We'll see you next time.
Okay.
Talk to you
Hey, we'll see you.
later.
Hey, we'll see.
And he's back. And he's gone. That's how we do it, man.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
Dude.
woo, baby.
Heck yeah, man. That was great. I thoroughly enjoyed that,
How long have you been sitting on that one, dude?
Since the beginning. I was like, I'm going to use this.
Thoroughly.
Yeah,
enjoyed
man.
that.
Yeah.
You know why? The ending was awkward for me because I just want to give him a hug, Like, that fool, dude. Like, I have actually gotten to know him, like, on a personal level, dude, and it's been really, really awesome. I think of him as a friend, and man, it's just whatever comes of this, there's going to be a lot of people that say he's not who he says he is, but dude,
But I mean,
honestly,
that's the obvious, right? I mean, that's what you expect.
who cares? Honestly, like, I'm convinced, and that doesn't even matter. Like, I was like over that after we got onto the next subject. I was like, actually, no, none of that Throwaylien shit matters. Now that we're on to this shit, dude.
Yeah.
and what I mean by that is the stuff that we got into, the psychological aspects of being an experiencer, going through stuff, how it affects your family, how it can affect every aspect of your life, dude. Even if you don't claim to say, hey, yeah, I was, taken aboard a spacecraft by a gray alien, maybe it's something different. Maybe you experienced dreams. The gamut goes wild, but I think there's a lot of knowledge that he brings to the table, and I'm excited about learning more. And learning more from people just like Thoreau. Coming out and saying, "Look, I did have this. I know there's gotta be some people out there that's like, oh my God, I did have this one experience, and I would never tell anybody. I've told like one person. There's gotta be right. Like there's gotta be so many people out there that have had that crazy dream that felt so real, you could swear that it was real, and that are just keeping it." Keeping it a secret based off of like, oh, I don't want to be vulnerable and tell people and like be weird. Hey, you can come share it on the garage if you want to.
Hell yeah, man.
I think it's important to just get that shit out there,
Absolutely. Yeah. I agree, man. Hey, if I sounded a little negative a little earlier, I apologize to everyone. It's just, man, like I hate when just people are being assholes. Like, there's no reason for that,
Oh, talking about the dude.
Yeah.
Calling us virgins.
I reeled it in. You're right, Mr. Gray Owl. It was just pissing me off. I hate like you're just being mean to people, And the whole thing is, dude, is like we're pretty easy to talk to, and like we would very much so love to hear the other side. I mean, that's the whole point. It's kind of like part of it, Like, and that's cool. Just don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Why do you have to be Why do you have to be an asshole? You know? That's all. Just when you come here, man, this is a no asshole zone. Just don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
And you can say whatever you want. We, very rarely do we ban or edit anybody. I mean, that's why they were still in here. I mean, they have a right to say whatever they want to. Yeah, we highlight their shit most of the time. It's you can say whatever you want. We're not fucking censoring anybody whatsoever. But like when you're just being a blatant asshole, that's different. We just don't do that here. There's a different room for that. I don't care if you're an asshole, but don't be an asshole here.
I want to say something. So
say it, dude.
Totino's pizza rolls
are delicious.
We're sponsored by. No, I was gonna say, man, I came across this video the other day, and this individual, I have it saved. He said some really awesome stuff. He said a negative aspect or somebody that's being negative towards you is like a gift. You can choose to receive it or not receive it. If someone comes at you with negativity, you can say, I'm good. And then they keep that negativity. They keep that. It's like it's all wrapped into, it's like a very dumbed down way to say, look, hey, no negative vibes here. But it's so easy to say, but like in practice, keeping that visualization, like handing somebody this negativity box. Are you going to fucking take that? No, I'm not going to take that poisonous fart.
Yeah, I'm going to take it and I'm going to
dude.
shove it up your fucking ass for being an asshole. And then we're all going to laugh and the negativity's gone.
You're putting more fart. You're putting more fart into that box, man. You're making that box more farty.
Good, because it's going back to him.
It used to smell like eggs. Now it smells like eggs and beef.
I like it. Eggs and beef. It's a good breakfast, honestly.
Actually,
I'm fucking excited for tomorrow morning now.
Very nutritional breakfast.
Thanks a lot, dude.
So, like, instead of, like, saying, oh, well, you give me negativity, I only, like, take it, I am, take it, make myself stronger. Like, forget that. Just say, no, I'm good. Just refuse that gift, give it, you're not giving anything back. You're just refusing it. Then you don't take on any of that negativity. You just move on, man. You just go on about your day. You go on about, you're making tortillas. I don't know. Maybe you're in the back and you're really good at it. And everybody's like, yeah, fucking make those tortillas, man. Make them real good.
We're doing that typical thing at the end of the show where we're just rambling.
I'm saying something very important, John.
I know you. I know you are. I'm totally fucking with you. I'm glad you said that, Ben.
Thanks, man.
I'm more of a man now that you said it.
No, I'm more of a man now.
I will from now on
Be more of a man now.
I will from now on no longer accept stinky boxes
No.
unless they have beef and eggs in them.
Bro, the best stinky boxes are full. Beef and eggs.
Hell yeah.
They'll stick. It's sticky too. It's like you could tell from this the stink from the box.
Hell yeah. Well, that's it for me.
Hey, bro, what's happening this weekend?
Oh, we're gonna be in Las Vegas, Viva, Texas.
Viva Las Vegas, baby. For
Yeah,
SOR.
we're coming in. We're coming in, man. We're gonna be coming in hot. We're gonna be hanging out. If everybody that's in the chat that's saying what's up, and y'all come and hang out every Tuesday, every Thursday. If y'all are gonna be in Vegas, I want you to know right now, I'm not gonna know what you look like.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I'm expecting like a bunch of people to be like, dude, what's up? And I'm gonna be like, hey.
I know what Sonny looks like.
Yeah.
I know what Jamie and Bree look like.
You
know
pretty
what
much are
Dave
gonna have to
Scott looks like.
introduce yourself as your name on YouTube, and then we'll get it. Yeah, I like it.
Dude,
Hey,
did
is Alabama Tide coming to Vegas?
Did you know that Sonny's coming? Sonny's coming.
Oh yeah, he sent me a beautiful picture the other day. I'm so excited.
I'm so stoked. Dude.
Yeah, dude. It's gonna be
Jamie and
great.
Bree, yes, baby.
John, bro. It's gonna be
Holy
dope,
shit.
man. I'm really
It's gonna be
excited. What, dude? John Lear thing is gonna be really cool. I think.
Tell me more about that, because John Lear, R.I.P.
Yeah. Let me actually pull this up really quick. I had it on my phone. I was looking at it. Melinda Leslie posted a little bit earlier, and let's see here. They're doing on Sunday celebration of John Lear's completion of existence in human form.
Awesome.
Las Vegas, Nevada, to the moon. Yeah, dude. Let's see. Where's it gonna be at? I'm not 100% sure on the details, but if you're in Vegas, there you can't see any of that. Sorry, but yeah, there's tickets. It's gonna be dope. I'm excited. That's gonna be pretty neat. So,
Dude, that's awesome.
Eventbrite.com. You can register now. I think it's a free event. It says free register, date and time, Sunday, April 24th, 2022. 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Location at the Speakeasy, 5675 West Sahara Avenue, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89146. You can view the map. Please join us in celebrating John Lear, his amazing life, and many accomplishments. And this is put on by the Lear family, apparently. So it's going to be really cool. I think it's going to be something definitely worth attending. Yeah, good stuff.
Hell yeah, dude. Also, this homepage of the Golden Nugget, where the event, the SOR event, is being held. This was taken in 1984.
Was it?
Nightlife. Have a drink. Stay a bit.
Well, yeah, it's a casino. He was gonna walk in and walk out.
Look, we have Troy. Everybody knows about Troy.
Like the rapper?
The liquor bar Joe.
Oh, I thought you were gonna want to be a baller.
I mean, we can. Dude, oh my God. Holy shit. Okay, whoever's going to Vegas, whoever's in the chat right now, I have an idea. I'm going to put in $50 Everybody puts in $50 into a pile, and we all bet on black. The moment we walk into the Golden Nugget Casino, and we fucking, dude, no. How dope would that be?
They're gonna be like red, and then it's like, fuck, we're out of like $1,000.
No. Here's the thing: if enough people are thinking about it and think black, like,
Oh, dude, we could run our own consciousness experiment in the casino.
and then like we will all take that money.
And donate 20% of it.
Honestly, we are legally, we've said it. Everything we make is 20% goes back to the experiencer groups and UAP research. So yes, 20% down. So all right, $100. But how dope would that be if everybody thought about like, hey, let's all think about, let's go black. Just the color is red and black, and well, there's a green, but we don't have to think about that green. Don't put that in your consciousness. You know. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
So if everybody thought about like, let's go all in on black. Let's go, baby. Alabama Tide. All I'm thinking is Roll Tide. Let's just say Roll Tide at the same time
Let's not say that.
Put it in the ball goes around.
Let's not say that. No. Ben's out of the conversation again. I pulled the plug on him. He says silly things like that.
Damn it. I was trying to put my back.
Dude, yes.
I'm talking about roulette with betting on black, by the way. Not like anything complicated. Roulette.
Roulette. I'm down. Hell
Bro,
yeah.
I've got $50. You got
I've got like
50 bucks?
$13.
You'll have $50.
Hell
If
yeah.
everybody thinks about UFO Garage, SOR, the good times, the positivity, betting on black. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. I've over-explained.
Is that it, or are you going to keep going?
I don't know. I was doing the outro. What are you doing?
Oh, you were like really into it. I was letting you roll, dude.
No, I've got two musics playing.
There's a lot of noises back there, dude. You're having way too much fun with the soundboards and stuff. Hey, I just wanted everybody to know that this has been another episode of UFO
Garage.
Oh shit, man. Ben's going to go see John Mayer on Thursday, so we won't be here, but we'll see y'all in Vegas.
Hell yeah, dude. We'll see y'all in Vegas. I like how you slipped that in. You didn't make fun of me, but now I'm making fun of myself.
All I'm saying, dude,
I love John Mayer. John Mayer's badass.
I think John Mayer shreds. Everybody knows that
fucking does
he
shred.
wrote those crappy songs so we could get some pussy. Everybody knows that, but he shreds, and he's amazing in Dead and Company, which is really what you should go see. Dead and Company. Dude, come on, we're not even gonna go there.
I've
Right?
been waiting 15 years to hear you say that John Mayer shreds.
John Mayer does shred. He has crappy music.
It's great music, Joe. You're all fucking hits.
They are. That's true. I can't even argue that. They are all hits.
I know
They're
that.
but they're lame and they make me sleepy.
It's like
and-
a sexy sleepy though.
and
Like,
then-
you're sleepy, but you're also like,
Yeah, no, I'm like sleepy, and then my wife starts getting all wet, and then she's like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Yeah, but like I'm sleepy now." John Mayer, it's just, it's too divisive. Now, if they throw on some Dead and Company, then okay,
everybody's turned off.
everybody's turned on, right?
Well,
Hell yeah,
it depends on what.
because collectively, the Grateful Dead is better than John Mayer. So when
Oh,
you
100
add John Mayer into the Grateful Dead,
Now it's sexy.
now it's sexy head. Yeah, I like it.
Fucking love that, dude.
Hell yeah, we agree, dude. We agree.
No, it's sexy head.
Everybody likes sexy.
I like the way the John Mayer says body.
My body.
Body.
Hell yeah, man.
Body.
Oh shit. All right, dude. Well, hey,
Hey.
you guys all take it easy. We love y'all. It's been a lot of fun, dude. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Thank you guys for hanging out. Love y'all. Y'all are the best.
All right, we'll talk to y'all later.
We'll
Why do
talk to y'all later.
you always do that? You always do that to me.
Well, you're supposed to pick up the slack, man.
Yeah, but I do the first goodbye, and then you do the second goodbye.
Oh.
And then it gets quiet, and then I'm waiting for like the real music to come up.
Okay. Well, hold on. Let me try again.
Well, this has been a lot of fun today, man. I had a great time. How dare you? How dare you, sir? All right. Take 3. We're gonna take 3. Ready? Well, hey, man, this is you're. Damn it. Okay, take 4. Take 4. What? Okay, here we go. Take 4. The music all stops when I take you out. It's just all quiet and awkward anyways. Well, that was fun.
Giant stone balls. Giant blocks of giant.
Hey, dude.
I'll talk to
It
you
was a
later.
good episode.
It was awesome. I had
Hey,
fun.
night, Bubba.
Hey, night.
Bubba.
Go mimis. It's time to go mimi.
Time to go me, baby.
Totally gonna do that.
I am about to go memes, dude.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
All right,
gosh.
dude. I'll talk to you later, man.
Peace, dude.
This has been great. We'll see y'all later.